Hi everyone, my name's Craig and welcome to tonight's episode of Guildgates and Goblins. How about that intro, eh?
What the heck?
Yeah, we didn't tell the cast. Well, obviously myself, Alias, and Craig knew, but no one else knew about that. So I'm so glad it worked. I was worried it wasn't going to play.
Yeah, that is so cool. I love it. I love it so much. Well done. Lovely stuff. Yeah, welcome everyone to tonight's episode of Guildgates and Goblins. Obviously, we weren't live last week, so you had a bit of a 2-week absence for some of you to catch up, I hope, and others of you to tune in, so welcome. So as you can probably tell, we have no Loren / Always Turtle tonight to play Talora. So the last 2 times she's been absent, someone has died. I'm just saying. You never know, but let's hope for 2. So yeah, a couple of announcements tonight. They're pretty cool. So first of all, we now have a Guildgates and Goblins subreddit. So I think it's a better place to kind of foster a community. You can kind of have kind of ongoing threads and stuff like that about either just Ravnica lore or questions about the cast. It's an easier place for us to see maybe what you guys are thinking or questions you might have for us. So you can find that just it's r/Guildgates. Just go there and you'll be able to find the posts and all that kind of stuff, and there'll be episode discussion threads where you can kind of react to what's happened and that sort of thing. And you can also find fan art of Azares, which is on our subreddit right now, which is so good. It's a digital painting that someone did for us, and it is just so great. So do check that out. And another announcement is we do have a Patreon now for Guildgates and Goblins. So this is a way for people and fans of the show to support us as we grow. We have a few things already up there for people who do want to give a donation. They can get some exclusive things. So first of all, you get a flare on the subreddit if you just make a small donation, so you can kind of show that off. And then there's a interview that I do with Connor about Reg, and we uncover a few little hidden gems from Reg's past there, so we can kind of get a retrospect on the character and what kind of inspired Reg. So you can check that out as well. And then at a higher level as well, you can gain access to my insights, so you can see how I kind of put together an encounter. So yeah, that's all we have to say about the Patreon. But now, Connor, do you want to handle the Tyler announcement?
Oh yeah, this is cool. So you guys know, we spoke about last week that Tyler Walpole, the incredibly talented Magic the Gathering artist, is going to be creating our official art for the whole party, which will, of course, go into that intro sequence you just saw. It'll replace the placeholder card art. We'll have his awesome art in there, but yes, he's working on that, and he is about to start streaming it. He's going to stream the creation of our character art. You're going to get to watch him draw and bring us all to life he's had, like, big direction from all of us, writing about our characters and how they look and how they act. And, yeah, you're going to get to watch all of him creating all of us, which is going to be awesome. And also, very soon, his comic is launching on tylerwalpole.com. We will have more about this next week when things are actually, like, happening. But this is just a heads up to go and follow him on Twitch at twitch.tv/Tyler Walpole Art. That's all one word. I've posted, I say I have, I'm lying, I haven't. I will post a link in the chat in a moment. But yeah, make sure that you're following him and following his website, ready to see our characters come to life, which I can't wait for. But, it's just one of the coolest things.
It's going to be so good.
I've done content for quite a while now, and it's still just, like, an actual magic artist creating our characters for the show is beyond the pale. I can't believe it. But yeah, go give him a follow and say hello to him, follow him on Twitter and all that, and it'll be great.
Yeah. All right. Thanks very much. Okay. Last session, the Society of Courage were still on the trail of Milton Proctor. They used an attack launched on a Gruul clan by another rival clan as a distraction to gain access to some nearby mines. And once inside, they met Kevros Lockwood, an imprisoned Gruul fighter locked in a cage. And after freeing Kevros, he joined the party as a temporary ally to get revenge on those who locked him up. After heading deeper into the mines and dealing with some Gruul clan members and those bearing the symbol of House Demir, they came across an area where there was a breach in the cave wall to what seemed to be an elaborate underground mausoleum. While traveling through the tomb, they have come across statues and carvings of figures and images none of them recognize. The place they're in seems to be ancient and undisturbed, until recently at least. Whilst delving through the ruins, they followed a path that led them to a chamber where, after looking around for a bit, they were attacked by a shadowy apparition. This creature knocked half of the party down
in one hit.
Fell swoop. Surprising, yeah. However, Azares, infusing her attack with radiant light, managed to destroy it. So upon being brought around, the party managed to kind of come together a little bit, and Kevros did manage to find 2 trinkets on the bodies in the chamber, both of which bear the symbol of House Demir and seem to contain some sort of magical energy. And following that, and this happened off stream, so just for the sake of speed, the party barricaded themselves in the room, set a watch, and got what rest they could, so they have all now completed a long rest. And we now join the party after completing this rest. So before we get into what you would like to do next, is there anything any of you in particular would like to do, or would like to have done, whilst resting in this chamber?
Just remind me, who did I... Sorry, Elias. Who did I give the other Dimir? It was a Dimir charm, right?
Well, you hadn't identified
it's like some sort of, like, locket-y thing.
Yeah, it's a small disc that's kind of about half an inch thick. It's kind of like a silvery metal, and then emblazoned on it is kind of the symbol, the kind of insect symbol of House Demir that kind of flashes blue as it kind of, you rotate it in your hand.
Okay.
But you don't know exactly what
Who did I give the other one to? I handed one to someone.
I don't think you gave them to anyone, actually. I think you still hadn't made up your mind.
Ah, okay. All right.
I will say at some point during that downtime, I would have asked Kevros if I could cast Identify on the object.
I'd have given him. They're identical, right, to me?
Yeah, they look identical.
All right, I'd have given Kosh one.
Okay. I've been cleaning my weapons and glaring at Vikaru for being a chicken.
I've been sulking at Vikaru as well.
I agree with Vikaru.
Yeah, but you didn't run away.
Address it at all. I would just be solid in the fact that I did what I think was correct, and everyone else was being dumb.
Classic Vikaru. Everyone sucks but me.
I'm the one with the coin.
So that's not going to save you.
So, at some point, Craig, during that 8 or 9 hours, probably before I went to sleep, I would have sat down and ritual casted Identify. It would have taken me 10 minutes.
Sure. Okay.
I also want to poke around the room and see what else is.
I was going to say, I just
like if there's any weird shit in the water or.
Okay. Why don't you make an investigation check? As soon as Razix is doing the same thing, you can have advantage on it.
Ooh. I'm -1 for investigation. What are you?
+1.
Okay, you do it.
All right, Razix, roll with advantage.
Good, that's a 2. Good start.
Good. It's not a 1.
Oh, natural 20.
Natural 20.
Yes,
okay.
we find all the things.
Well, unfortunately, there isn't really anything of value to be found. You spend a lot of time pouring through the whole room from top to bottom, checking behind every nook and cranny and looking in kind of old discarded urns and vases, but either anything of value has turned to dust or been removed, and there's nothing else really to learn here, it seems. Where you look at the kind of sarcophaguses in the room, there's no dates or names on them. Just these kind of ornate carvings that you've come to recognize throughout the kind of underground area, which is kind of like a floral pattern that kind of lines the sarcophagus. It's kind of like a branch of ivy almost, but with kind of flowery petals coming off it.
Okay.
But nothing else.
Nothing up in there were 2 top rooms as well, right?
Yeah, nothing there. It's just they're empty, and if there was anything of valuable here, it's gone.
Okay, cool.
It seems as if we've gone the wrong way and we need to turn around.
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay, so for Kosh, this is what the Dimir charm does. I'll paste it in the cast chat, and I'll read it out for everyone as well. So it's a Dimir charm, and these are a new magical item for the Guildmaster's Guide to Ravnica. So when you activate this charm as an action, you can cast the Blink spell. Alternatively, when you take damage, you can use your reaction to turn invisible and teleport up to 30 feet away to an unoccupied space you can see. However, the charm is consumed on use, so it's 1 use. And you get 2, and you've got 2 of them. You can kind of guess by looking at it, they're exactly the same, and they probably do the same thing. But you don't need to attune it or anything like that, and anyone can use them.
I look at my fancy Dimir charm and the 2 daggers that I picked up, and Dimir really knows how to work. I don't want to be that guy, but can I have this?
Oh, you can have that one, yeah?
Okay.
I'm
thanks,
keeping
guys.
this one, though.
I won't begrudge you that. I just find this to be highly useful for me. I sometimes don't make the best choices in fights, so this seems like
all right. Don't worry. I assume that Kosh shared with me what it does, right?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah, I would have read it out loud.
I'll just look at him and go,
Voice.
don't worry, I'm going to use mine to go closer to them, so it's fine.
That's what we call an oh shit button, right?
Exactly,
shit.
it's my panic button.
It's going to make them say, oh shit, man. I'm going to look over at Vicaria and go, speaking of running away quickly, what was with you, man?
I was making the correct assumption that the entity in here was stronger than we could deal with. I made an escape route, and I told all of us to leave, but that didn't happen. So I don't think I can be blamed.
Unfortunately, I think we purged the unpurged, and I didn't think we had any way to get away.
Well, whichever
What
one of
does
you
that
healed
even
me, thanks. But surprised the Ozov one didn't come back to get our money afterwards.
He hightailed out of there so quickly. I think he dropped all of his coins along the way. He's probably picking those up.
They'd never do that, don't worry.
Right. So we should probably get going. We are still on a slight time schedule.
Yeah.
You don't want to stay here and insult Vicaris some more, Razix? You're thinking we should maybe get back to the whole reason we came here?
Probably, yes.
Oh, well.
Actually, that's a good point. Why are all of you here?
It's a long story. I think we've kind of just been spiraling downwards since the first day we met.
We're here to see a
unfortunately.
Yormen. He's controlling, from what we can gather, this Gruul clan.
Oh yeah, you mentioned
Got
him
some
actually.
power.
I remember.
You know what's kind of sad is the first people I met in this group were Reg and Daru arguing. And now they're both gone.
Well, no time to dwell on that, unfortunately. We've got a Yormen to find. And hopefully find Embert eventually.
I mean, you said yesterday that you're going after this Yormen, but why? Like, you're from the Legion, for Christ's sake. I'm gonna gesture at Azares. What are you doing down here with this this lot? You don't normally see Izzet mages or Zovian bankers. Nearly said something else there. Coming into the rubble belt.
I'm not a banker. I am a contract law clerk. Thank you.
Right, I'm not even going to pretend to know what that is.
He dots the I's and crosses the T's.
In a bank,
And
right?
runs away and fights.
Alright.
That's what he does.
I was sent by the Guild Council.
Yeah. So we all got roped in.
He's just kind of creepy. He does that sometimes. He'll get used to it, but...
You're brave coming here from the Guild Council. Where,
Why is it?
well, people around here typically aren't a fan. I assume you haven't served in the rubble belt yourself if you don't know that about us.
Well, no. I tend to get stuck on guard duty, thanks to a certain someone.
Oh,
So I don't get to get out much.
I'd count yourself lucky for that.
It's been an adventure so far, that's for sure. Some unfortunate losses along the way, but I'm committed now. We want to get to the bottom of this, get Embert back if he's even still alive. No offense, but...
Yormen is connected to the guy at the top of this. He's just another step on the ladder. And until Embert builds them what they want, he's alive. I'm sure of it.
That's what I'm hoping.
Who's Embert?
My teacher, mentor, professor, it isn't.
Your mentor's the one doing all this.
Well, not by choice. He was taken. When I met everybody, it was at a festival, and it was a massacre. A bunch of people from all different kinds of guilds came out, started attacking people. They grabbed Embert, put him under some kind of spell. We chased after him, but they got away.
And the weird thing was, all the people that attacked us had no memory of the event afterwards. So something or someone is behind this. They're controlling people, making them do weird shit against their will. And we want to find out why.
We're working our way up the hierarchy, so to speak.
All right.
We've dealt with one step, now we're on to the next.
Yeah, we've been playing catch up the whole time, but we're closer than ever. We're close.
We sometimes get distracted by shiny things.
Hmm.
But that's just me.
All right then.
So I
Any
guess
other questions?
Yeah, I'd start walking out if no one else says anything.
Okay.
Start walking back towards the.
Not for now, Legionary.
Okay, so I assume you guys are all just kind of going back the way you came.
Yep.
Yeah. So this is kind of this darkened path, which is illuminated by some amount of kind of luminescent fungus that kind of runs along the walls and is in the corners of the room. And you can step over the petrified-looking Dimir bodies that were by the door before eventually making your way back to this larger chamber that you came into. So just as a reminder to you guys, this is the one that has a few kind of busts of elven faces and heads around the edges of the room and large vases and urns. And then in the center, in kind of this lower down portion, there's a large statue of kind of a very martial looking figure with kind of this tall conical hat and a large glaive in one hand. So as you guys enter the room, to your right is the door you came in originally. And then straight across from you, there's another pathway, but it looks like it's collapsed. There's kind of broken stonework and ground and dirt that's kind of just covered the entrance. And then there's another doorway just off to your left. So,
Which way do you want to go? So the unpurged one, there were like two doors, right?
yeah. So you
Unpurged
guys,
one would just come in.
it was just a single door, and the other door to your left that you haven't gone through yet is also just a single door.
Okay.
So we really only have one door that we haven't already been through, right?
Are you asking me? Sorry, or the group?
I think
Yeah,
so,
yeah. I'm asking. I'm
sorry.
asking you.
It's just that door to the left that I haven't been through.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to double check.
No
It's
problem.
been a couple weeks, so yeah.
yeah. The one
Yeah.
to the left is the only door you haven't yet gone through.
It's a lack of oxygen down here. We
Yeah. All right. Well,
Lightheaded.
we've only got one choice.
Let's
Indeed.
go then.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
I
then.
will open the door.
So just before you open the door, as Ares, can I just get an order of travel for the party? As Ares in the lead.
I hate when you guys-
Second to
I
last.
hate it when you do this, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
realistically, I'd be walking off, like, not walking off, like, to the side of them or something. I wouldn't
pretty
be,
much
like,
even as
in
Ares
their
in
group.
front.
Yeah, but I'd be off to the side, I guess.
Okay.
I'd be behind them.
I'm very much, like, satelliting them at this point.
Okay. Kosh second to last, and then because Talora is here, I am controlling Talora.
Hey, it's Laura.
They got
Lord,
to
how-
hurt
Please,
you!
please.
I've been bullying Craig for the last 2 weeks, saying that when Loren's away, I'm going to talk to Talora as much as I can to make him
And
do
then,
the
yeah, why didn't
voice.
just ask intricate backstory questions, which I don't know if Lorraine would want to give up, you know? Justin, where do you want to be? Do you want to be at the back or the very back or?
Yeah, I'll be at the very back, yeah.
Okay, so Talora's in front of you. Okay, lovely. All right, so as you come to this door, and again, it just looks like all the others you've kind of passed through in here. Again, it's this metal door which is just carved around the edges with these kind of floral patterns, and it's just a simple metallic handle.
I will
Or you wanna
I
do
will.
anything else?
open it
Okay, you open the.
gently.
Okay, you grasp the handle and slowly turn it, and as you open the room, it kind of lets out a low creaking before it kind of opens out into this just another long stone hallway. Looks pretty similar to the ones you've kind of walked along before already, but this one is lit with torchlight along the way. You can see as well at the far end of the hall there is another metal door, but then the rest of this pathway is kind of featureless. There's a few kind of geometric patterns carved onto the walls, the occasional wall that's kind of or with a small alcove where there's a carving or a vase or some sort of artifact on display, but nothing really jumps out to you apart from the other door at the end of the corridor.
All right, I'm gonna approach the other door slowly,
Okay.
cautiously.
Yeah, I'm walking up to it as well.
Okay, sure thing. So as you're getting closer, why don't you make a perception check for me?
Yes, sir. That is a 20, not natural.
Okay, so pretty much from about 20 feet away from the door, you begin to hear this almost sounds like a roaring, but not like a dragon roaring or anything like that. Just this distant, heavy sound that's just cascading from behind this door.
Ooh.
Would I recognize it as a sound of nature, like a waterfall? Or...
Yeah, let's say that. Yeah, I would say you could recognize it as the sound of a waterfall.
All right. seeing what I does live in nature and thing. I'll just look over to Azares and say, "It's running water."
Is that a good or a bad thing? Are we gonna get drowned, or?
It's not as uncommon as you'd think underground. I think it'd be fine. Sounds loud though. It's a big one.
All right. So I will keep approaching.
Craig, here's a question. It might be too specific. Sorry if it is. Would I know of any like major rivers or something in this area that would cause something like that?
Make a nature check.
All right.
Or a history check for knowledge of the land.
Yeah, okay, I'll do...
whatever you prefer.
I shall do... I'm the same in both, so it doesn't matter. We'll say history. That is a 15.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty fair to say you kind of get a rough idea of where you are in the landscape. There are a few kind of large rivers that might go underground in the area, so it could be an underground waterfall.
Alright, yeah, I'll just stick at that and just say, not that uncommon, really.
All right. Then, confident in our nature guy's knowledge of stuff, I will continue to go
Nature
towards it.
man.
Nature man.
I assume the rest of us are following behind us, Aries, right?
Yep.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that was clear.
Yes.
Okay, so as you open the door, and yeah, it opens out actually into this wide open cavern that you can see. There's more glowing fungus kind of around the edges and along the walls of the cavern itself. But as well as that, there's a few torches that kind of indicate this path that leads pretty much from one end of the cavern to the other. And the roaring does seem to be coming from this large waterfall, which is off to your right.
Okay.
A long rushing river kind of pulls down from under it and essentially cuts the cavern in half. And then there's what looks to be fairly well-constructed bridge going across it. And there's kind of two stone arches at both ends of it. And there's these small glowing green orbs at both ends of the bridge that give off a faint light.
Huh.
And you can see on the other side of the bridge, just illuminated by kind of this glowing mushrooms, there's a small stone pathway, like a kind of set of steps carved into the actual ground, essentially, that leads up to a portion that you can't quite see.
Okay. So is it like a sheer drop that this bridge is going over? Right.
No. The bridge is just going over a river.
Okay, so it's not like high or anything. All right.
No.
Cool. So I will cross the bridge.
Okay. So anything?
I'll not.
I'll not. Okay. Well, I'm gonna walk. I'm gonna walk up to the bridge.
Let's go one at a time.
But the ridge that we can see steps leading up to, can we see up onto the ridge, or is it like blacked out?
It is faintly illuminated by glowing mushrooms. Like you can just kind of see, and there is this torchlight that kind of roughly is kind of dropped and seems to indicate that way is the correct way to go. You can kind of see it reflecting off the walls of the cavern.
All right.
Okay, I will cross the bridge.
Okay, are you going one at a time, or
I'm standing and watching the group cross.
Okay, so as Aries, you want to cross first, then by yourself?
Yeah, I'll just be like, for obvious reasons.
Okay. I will say as well, it is a fairly wide bridge. It's not like a wooden rickety bridge. It is looks like a well-constructed stone bridge. It's enough you could easily fit two of you abreast. But as Aries, as you kind of step onto the bridge and start crossing it, do you want to make a perception check again for me?
Sure. I am a big minotaur lady. That's terrible. 8.
8, okay.
It's a bridge.
You cross the bridge and end up on the other side without any sort of issues. It seems to be fine.
Okay. Well, it supported my weight. You should all be fine.
I'm almost like guarding behind us, like the way we came.
Okay.
I'm just keeping an eye out for the corridor we came through.
I walk across because I thought it was a wooden bridge at first. If it's stone, I just walk across.
Yeah, it looks like a fairly well-constructed stone bridge. So, are you all crossing?
Yes.
Okay.
I would rather not cross with other people at the same time. Not that many other people. I would probably ask Loren if she wanted to cross together.
Loren agrees. Sure, Vicari, let's do that.
Do you look at the arm like this as well?
Absolutely not.
Oh.
She's like a weird, slimy merfolk lady.
Slimy.
Hey, who are you calling slimy?
It's not like Millhouse Manor store.
Shut up. That's the best I can do, alright? I'm sorry, Lorraine, if you're watching. That's the best I can do. Anyway.
That was like the most Orzhov thing you could have said there, too.
So, is it just Kosh and Razix who are crossing together?
Sure, I guess.
And
Okay.
Kevros is staying behind to keep a watch?
I'm just waiting for everyone to cross and watching the way behind
As
us.
we cross, I lean over to Razix. This feels overly dramatic to walk across the bridge. Hey,
Maybe it is all for nothing.
You never know.
Alright. Kevros, why don't you first, as they're crossing, make a perception check
Fuck.
for me as well, seeing as you're keeping eyes out behind.
Okay, let's see what my perception is. Oh, big boy +2. That'll be a 6.
Yes. Good job.
You kind of take a look around, but it is fairly dark as well. You can't really make out anything. And then Kosh and Razix, I would like you also both to make a perception check, but not one with advantage. Both of you make an individual one.
sure.
No problem.
We're all gonna lose our eyes.
That is, I think, 14. Let me double check real quick. Pretty sure it's a 14. No, that's a 13. All right.
13, okay. Razix?
I rolled an 11.
Big rolls coming in today.
Okay, well...
It's alright, we're saving it for when it matters.
Razix, you don't really notice anything. You're kind of enamored by the faint glow of the mushrooms. But
In awe.
Kosh, as you are crossing, just off to the kind of left-hand side of the bridge, up towards the stone path, you can kind of see his areas from where you are, but also there's this kind of alcove within the kind of the wall of the cave itself. And just for a brief moment, you see this green humanoid shape illuminated by the light before it kind of ducks away just out of view, but it only seems to come up to about your waist, this figure in the distance, but it quickly ducks back inside.
I'll kind of put a hand up and stop Razix.
I stop.
Point to the alcove. Do you see that?
See what?
Small green guy. Did it look like vaguely like Reg, but I think it was a goblin.
You only caught a fleeting.
Okay.
It wasn't that handsome. No.
It didn't reflect all light within the cavern, so no, I mean it was just a flash of green and this outline of a humanoid. But what it
Okay.
It's hard to say.
I'll just point to the alcove. I think there was a goblin over there in the alcove. We're definitely being watched. And as we finish crossing, I will relay that to Aseries as well. We're definitely being watched.
I ready
Well.
myself in case.
Your eyes open.
Do I hear them saying that we're being watched?
Dangerous senses tingling at all?
Kevros, answer you first. Yeah, it's an echoey cavern. You can.
Alright.
They haven't said they're making any efforts to talk quietly. So, yeah, their voices are kind of resounding off the sides. As Aries for dangers, your spidey sense does not tingle.
Oh, damn it. But there's a big gushing waterfall. No one can hear us. We wouldn't hear anything, would we?
Okay. Caution Razix and Azaris. As you guys get to the end of the bridge, and before Vikaru, Talora, and Kevros start to make their way across, suddenly, off to the left of where you guys are standing, where the kind of river meets the edge of the bank, I guess, a large green claw suddenly clamps onto the ground, and a form begins to pull itself out from the from the river itself.
Right, as a Reg expert, that's not Reg. All right.
So why don't I move us all onto the battle map?
Oh, no.
Don't you mean the
We're all
diplomacy
gonna
map?
die.
The diplomacy.
Diplomacy map.
So,
Oh, no. Fee, fi, fo, fum.
so
Are we coming from the left or
yeah,
the
so
right?
you guys are can you guys see my pinging there? You guys are there.
I cannot see your pinging.
Oh, I'm on the GM layer.
You are on the GM layer.
Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yes,
So
we
that's
are there.
that's where Azaris, Kevros, and Kosh are. Vikaru and Talora, they're probably about there on the bridge. and Kevros, you're probably just a little bit behind.
Oh yeah, I'm like here.
So let me just drag Talora onto the map. Okay, so you guys on the far end of the bridge begin to see this figure pull itself out of the water, and it is quite large. As more of it is exposed, you can see it has these 4 large, powerful-looking legs, and has a long, curved tail coming off the back of it that looks almost like that of a lizard. The front portion of the creature kind of comes up in this long, sinuous neck that ends in this large head, and just kind of off kind of where its shoulders would be are these long, sharp talons. And then it has this head that's almost fish-like in nature. It's kind of like a snapping jaw. And then you can also see marking along the backs of it are these deep purple stripes, almost like that of a, well, I don't think they have them in Ravnica, but like a zebra for you guys as reference. And then just off to your left and right, Kosh, you can see where you saw that green humanoid figure. And then there's off to your right as well 2 of these humanoid figures kind of come out from the stonework, but their upper bodies are of a human nature, but they are completely hairless, and they're made out of this glistening green substance. And as they rise up and light catches off their bodies, they illuminate almost with a slightly red glow, as you can kind of see their bones and organs are outlined by the faint light from the cavern. And the bottom half of them is just made out of these writhing greenish tentacles. So I'll reveal it all now, and then I'd like to roll initiative.
It's fun.
Yikes! Oh, good.
Oh, that's nice. Oh,
So
good.
I would lean over to Talora and just say, "You guys need to stop."
Yeah, they do.
It's time to stop.
All right, so let me just add you all to the turn order.
Oh. What do you use?
Yes.
Snap 20.
Oh wait, no, not yes.
This is not a useless nat 20. No use. No nat 20s are useless.
I guess I would have preferred it on the check to see the big guy first.
I thought I'd rolled really highly, then remembered I have no initiative bonus.
You're not right.
So that's just a 15.
Oh wait, actually.
Huh.
Okay, so that's an 8 for the creature, whatever it is. And Talora... Oh, I haven't played with a character sheet for 2 weeks now. Bloody hell. Okay, so what did you guys all get? If you just want to read it out for me.
15.
10.
Okay.
23.
15.
Okay. Talora rolled a nat 1. So, regardless
In
of...
true
What
Loren
is wrong
fashion.
with her?
Well, actually, no, that one plus 2 total, because she does have +1 to Dex. So there we go. All
Great
right,
job,
so yeah, this thing just begins to pull itself out of the water. So, Kosh, you have first action. What would you like to do?
So how close is it to me?
Yeah,
Am I considered in melee with it?
Yeah, you would be. It's got this kind of long neck and these arms that are very much aligned to the neck, and it could easily grab you. So if you're asking if could it take an attack of opportunity if you backed away, yes, it could.
Okay. So I don't know exactly how this rule works. You'll have to remind me. If I take a ranged attack on something else, do I have disadvantage because that thing's in melee with me?
I believe
so, yeah.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
I think so,
There's a
but I
feat
just wanted to
that- you
double
need
check.
like the feat to avoid that. So what would you like to do?
I guess I'm using. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, hang on. Sorry, let me change that actually. I will go ahead. I will cast Zephyr Strike on myself with my bonus action.
Okay.
And so what that does is it means my movement does not provoke
no
opportunity
problem.
attacks. And I will run
Away.
far as I can get, which I believe is here.
I believe Zephyr Strike also doubles your movement,
It does,
doesn't it?
yes.
Only on the attack that I choose to give myself advantage
Okay.
on.
Okay.
I guess. When else am I gonna need this 30 feet? I'm just gonna full dash. Just get me the hell out of here.
Okay.
What are you doing to us?
And then I get all the way over there, just survival instincts kicking in, full sprint, and I'll whip around and I'll go ahead and shoot at this guy, and I have advantage on this roll.
Sure.
That is well, Oh boy. Even with advantage, that is a 10.
I'm afraid that does not hit. In your kind of your speed and excitement and just
Excitement.
anxiety.
Excitement, Craig.
Well, what does Zephyr Strike do? It makes you really excited, I guess.
Apparently.
You lean back and try to do almost like a dodge roll into a shot, but you just mess it up and the shot just goes pinging off the cavern wall. Okay, Kevros.
Yikes.
Quite far
Alright.
from the action. What would you like to do?
I would like to a moment because I'm just refreshing roll 20 because it bugged. I'm like, sorry, the page has disappeared for me. Let me refresh.
Yeah, it briefly just disconnected from me. I think it's
okay.
a little disconnect.
Okay. Sorry, one moment. I am just loading the page. However, I am going to. There we go. That should work. All right. I'm going to take my turn by.
Mhm.
Oh, this is further than I thought, isn't it?
It is quite far, yeah.
15, and then I'm 5. Oh, okay, I can reach it. All right, I'm going to. Just fuck. How deep does this water look in front of me?
Around the edge, if you what exactly you want, if you're going to try and swim it, it would be very. This river is running quite fast. If that's what you're going to ask to do.
Yeah, and I'm in heavy armor. That's a bad
Yeah, so
idea.
I would say Kevros himself realizes a very bad idea.
Yeah, I wouldn't try to do that. All right.
Jumping
If the river's moving quickly, oh, spiral. Yeah, okay. There's no way I'm going near that. All right. Oh, right. In that case, I'm going to run past Vicario and Talora.
Yeah, no problem.
And-
I assume. Well, Tolora's not going to try and stop you. Vicario, I assume, is not also going to try and stop you.
Attack advantage.
Get out the bloody way. All right, and I'm going to run the 15 feet to here.
I would say as well, if you got to that 15 feet, you will be able to hit it because it has this
Sorry, I
long
wouldn't,
neck.
or I would.
You would be able to hit it because it
Alright,
has
that's what I
this
was
long
hoping,
neck
yeah.
that's essentially staring over the edge of the bridge. So go
Okay,
ahead.
I'm gonna run and just like mid-run, just take a massive two-handed swing at it,
Okay.
and I will. Oh, do I want to do anything? Oh, I closed my character sheet too. Thank you so much, roll 20.
Oh dear,
Love
it's all
you.
falling apart for you.
Yeah, no, it is. Alright. I will. I'll do anything. I'm just gonna hit it.
Okay,
All right. That is a. Ooh, that's a 16.
that hits.
Okay. No. Goodness. All right. 2d6 damage. One of those is a 2, so I get to re-roll that because I'm a great weapon master. That
Sure.
is 9 plus 4, so that's 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so you just swing your greatsword overhand and just give it a meaty thwack right down on its neck, and it just chops right in, and this kind of purple blood begins to spray out as it kind of rears its head back and roars out. So, would you like to do anything with your bonus action, or is that it?
I'll just. Could I use my bonus action just to like rack my memory and have I ever heard of or seen anything like this, or is this like way unknown to me?
Make a let's say nature check, I guess.
Right. And my nature is okay. That's a 19 on nature check.
19. Okay, you haven't seen anything specifically that looks like this, but based on the amalgamation of kind of different animals you can see, this is quite definitely a Crassus, or if you're American, a Crassus.
A bloody Crassus. All of that American malarkey. Alright. Shit. I am my turn. I say shit, and I am my turn.
Lovely. All right, Vicari.
All right, so I'm going to run up to just about there
Sure.
and invoke Daru's Bane upon
Okay.
the 3 disgusting beings.
Okay. So what's
I'm
that
right
save?
here.
Is
That
that
is a charisma save for me.
charisma save for all 3 of them, is it? Yep.
Yes.
Okay. All right, so the top jelly man rolls a 15.
I believe that succeeds.
Okay, the Crassus rolls a now 1. Okay,
All right.
let me give it the old eye. And then the bottom jelly man, he rolls an 8, which I
Jelly man.
Okay. Anything else?
Constitution? Nope. That is it.
Okay. Razix, I believe, has higher dex than Azaris, so we'll get to go first.
Sure. First, I'm going to use my reaction to cast. Or no, sorry. I'm going to use my action to invoke my spore's magical properties.
Sure.
So I gain all the wonderful hit points, extra damage on my attack rolls, and all that jazz. And I'm going to invoke my spores as a reaction on the Crassus.
Okay. Yeah, you can just do it now, just to save time, so you don't have to do it. So is it what save for a Constitution?
Constitution save. Yeah.
Okay, that's a big boy, 23.
That saves. Right.
Okay.
And as bonus action, I'll cast Shillelagh.
Sure.
Or no, yes, I can do that.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, your mace becomes encrusted in this kind of thick bark-like material.
And I'm going to move off the bridge because I don't like being on the bridge.
Okay.
And can I get around him without invoking an attack? Like if I tried to move
you could pass through as Ares, because I assume as Ares wouldn't try and stop you. So yeah, you could move. So yeah, that's fine.
And I'll end my turn there, readying myself for who's coming towards me.
All right. As Ares, what would you like to do?
I want to get in on the fight there with Kevros, so I'm going to walk towards the big Crassus.
Okay.
Hit it in the asses. I had to, I'm sorry.
You have disadvantage on this attack roll.
Oh, come on.
Okay, go ahead.
I start raging. Sorry.
Okay, sure. No problem.
Yeah, I start raging, yes. And I would like to take a swing at it with my battle axe.
Razix pulls out a small drum kit.
Oh, boy. That is 16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Sweet. That's my 1d8. Is that my d8? No, that's a d10. God, I wish I knew my dice better. There we go. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Regular damage.
Is that's slashing damage, okay? 13 slashing damage.
And then my Divine Fury, 1d6. Another 5, 6, 7. So 20 points of damage.
Bloody hell. Okay. All right, so as you get kind of close, the Crassus kind of roars into your face, and you get covered in its kind of spittle and saliva and whatever kind of fluids are inside it. But you just swing your battle axe round and just smash it right into the side of its face and get this deep gouge right across its cheek, and purple blood splatters out across the stonework of the bridge. So,
yummy.
Anything else?
No, I'm just going to sit there like growling at it, because why not?
So the Crassus is... Okay. All right. All right, first things first. You're all looking at the Crassus. Well, I assume most of you are looking at the Crassus. Those of you who are, you see these kind of purple stripes on it begin to pulsate, almost like... I don't know if you guys ever watched Blue Planet, but there's a fish on that. I can't remember what kind of it is, but it pulsates. It looks like that.
Is it a jellyfish, Craig?
It's not a jellyfish, no. I can't remember the type of fish. I'm sure someone in chat will. But as Ares, you seem almost enamored by this display that's going on, and it draws your attention.
Oh no!
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, for frick's sakes! Stop mind controlling me, Craig. God damn it! Where's my wisdom? There it is. Come on, please don't roll like shit. Please don't roll like shit. Ooh, suck it. 19.
19. Okay, you just you shake your head and you just kind of push through the whatever that was, and just so you know, you are immune to any sort of things like that from the Crassus for 24 hours.
Oh yes.
So that can't happen to you, at least for a wee while. Then
all right, cool.
The jelly or ooze based entities. The first one is going to move towards you, Razix. He kind of slops along the ground and drags himself along with his tentacles. And then with his kind of gooey arm, he essentially pulls it back and whips it out towards you as his arm kind of stretches out. And that is a 24.
That does hit, unsurprisingly.
Go on, my beautiful ooze. Lovely. All right, so as it kind of whacks you into around the face, essentially, you take 7 points of bludgeoning damage, and you kind of have this thick goo all across your face that drips down.
Ow! Don't say anything.
The other.
Did it take you a second, Craig?
Yep. The other one. Now I do remember Bane, so don't worry about that, Vicar. I'll subtract it from the roll here. Okay, that's. That's a 9 total as it kind of reaches inside itself essentially and grabs this glop of glue and flings it towards you as Ares, but it just goes wide as it just kind of sails across and splashes into the roaring river behind you.
Missed me.
And then Talura, give me a second here. Talura is going to... Okay, Talura is going to start things off simple. She will move over here and kind of duck behind the column of stone, and she raises her arm and fires off a blast of frost towards it, and it does hit. Yeah, as you watch,
Yay!
the blast of blue light just smashes into the neck of the creature, and it takes...
I thought she was going to be like Meepo, or like Meepo. No, I'm good, thanks.
Okay, it takes 9 points of cold damage as it kind of just blasts into the side of its neck. And okay, and then that's going to end Talora's turn. So Kosh, back to you.
Okay. I will go ahead, use my bonus action to reload, and I will take a shot at the pile of jello attacking Razix.
Okay, I would say you would have to probably just move up there to get a good eye on
Sure.
it. The bridge kind of curves up and you can't quite see from where you are. Yeah, so
Makes
you can
sense.
fire without issues there, no problem.
Oh, bad night. That's a 9.
That's a
Ooh.
9. No, you just kind of take a second to line up your shot, but it just goes wide, unfortunately.
All
And
right,
that's
that's my
your turn?
turn.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kevros.
Reload.
Yeah, I reload the
can't, takes
sword.
a bonus action.
Oh, right.
I'm going to... You know what? I'm going to be... Oh, actually...
Oh dear.
Are you gonna whole hog it?
No, I'm not going to whole hog it.
Jump into the river.
Sink like a stone.
No, I'm not going to whole hog it. All right. Actually, what is the I guess it's this one isn't 5 feet away from the Crassus, right?
No, there is kind of the bank between it
All
and,
right,
and the
okay.
Crassus,
All right,
I would
never
say.
mind. I'll in that case, I'm just gonna big swing up and chop for the Crassus again.
Okay, go ahead.
That is going to be a much better roll. That is a 23 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, and that is for big boy damage. 14 points of slashing damage.
Nice. Okay, yeah, you just swing your sword up, and just as it's kind of rearing back from Talora's blast of frost, you just swing your sword across its neck and just slice deep into it. You see more of this purple blood begin to pour out of it.
How does its neck look? Could I get through it? Do I think I could get through it with another like hefty swing?
No, from what as you've been kind of slashing at it, the muscle and sinew beneath it is thick and tough to cut through. It's not. It would be hard to guillotine it, essentially, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
like it wouldn't be a case you could chop its head off in one blow. Even if it was like lying on the ground, you would know it would take several swings to cut through.
Yeah. All right. I'll just have my turn there. Actually, I'll have my turn.
Okay, Vicario.
I shall summon my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
May my enemies face the golden sun. Specifically, I'm going to put it there. There we go.
Okay.
And gotta keep track of my several timed things.
No problem.
I shall attack the gross Oozeman that's at
Sure.
the bottom there. So I gotta roll. That is a 18, I believe.
Yeah, that hits.
Just double check. Make sure that's what my... Okay, I had to make sure my spell attack bonus was plus 6.
No problem.
And it takes a 8. Oh, gosh. The D8 plus my spell mod is... Where's my gosh dang character? That's 4. So it takes 11 damage, I believe. Yes.
11 damage. Okay, so your glowing sun just kind of swings back and smashes into the upper body of this creature, and more of this kind of goo just splatters off it and hits the ground. As it does, you would notice the ground under it kind of fizzles and burns, and kind of a low wisp of smoke comes off it.
No touchy.
Gross.
But I would say Vicario's really the only one who noticed that.
All right.
All right.
Since that is a fantastic bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and cast... I'm going to jingle some coins in the mind of this...
Jingle my jangles. Okay.
Jingle, jangle, jingle.
At
and
the Crassus, is it?
yeah, it's the wisdom save minus the d4.
Okay. All right. That brings it. Okay, so you got a 3 on the d4, and that brings it down to a 4 total, which I
Yes.
assume fails. And it has taken damage, so you get the d12.
12. Got 10.
Nice. Okay. So you kind of and enchant it with your necromantic powers, or however I should describe it. I still don't know. And it just kind of rears, and it just kind of rears back and roars out. But is there anything else, Big Harry?
I'm just gonna move to about here.
Sure thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Does
right.
a Crassus even know what gold is? Like, what is jingling? I'm like, okay, whatever.
All right.
It's so shiny.
Razix, what would you like to do?
Now that Razix is all hefted out and invoked as much as he can, he's going to take a big swing at the Ooze boy in front of him as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Is that 16?
That hits.
Sweet. Thanks, chat, for showing me that I get extra damage on this.
Thank you, Chad.
So, well, that's great. I rolled 4 bludgeoning damage and 3 necrotic damage.
Okay, so as you swing your mace back and just smash it into the form of this creature, as you do, the force of the bludgeoning kind of sprays some of this goo from it more onto your chest, and this time you feel a deep burning pain across yourself as you take.
Uh-oh.
Give me a
Ouch.
moment. Too many different dice I need to roll. Okay, you take 7 points of acid damage as it kind of coats your upper chest and it burns.
Okay. Well, that's not good. I'm going to invoke my spores, I guess, on the oozeling.
Okay,
As
so
well.
that's a what save?
Saving
Constitution
throw.
save. Okay, that is a 19.
Damn. All right. Then I'll end my turn.
Okay. Azares.
Me, I want to take another swing at this gooey thing in front of me.
Okay. Well, he's not strictly gooey. He is
Well,
sleek. You know, he lives in the water.
he
Maybe.
looks slimy. I'll give him that. He looks slimy. So I'm going to take another swing at him with my battle axe, one-handed. That is that's 24 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
That'll hit. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Or OG damage, and then the Divine Fury. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 in total.
Okay. So you swing back your axe again, and just this time you go for its head and you swing and you just catch it right across the eye, and you see its eye kind of essentially bursts, and more of this kind of clear fluid begins to run down its face, and more purple blood splatters across the bridge, and it is looking quite unhealthy.
Oh dear.
But anything else?
Well, I could attempt to goring rush it, but I don't know how that works if he's
Wouldn't you have to
involved.
jump off the bridge to do
Yeah,
that?
I wouldn't say that's probably even possible. It is a size larger than you.
Yeah, true. Okay.
so-
No, I won't do that then. Never mind. I
Okay.
passed my turn.
Okay. All right. So first things first, the Crassus. Give me a moment to check something. No, that's fine. Okay. All right. It brings up its claws towards you as Ares is going to take a swing at you first of all.
All right.
That is. Oh, that's 24 total.
Ooh, that'll hit me.
Okay.
Ow.
So as it swings its kind of talon claw towards you, it slashes out and hits you for.
Oh dear.
Hold on. I don't use these dice often.
Cool.
Okay. Oh, you take 20 points of slashing damage. As
But
it
that
just-
gets halved, right?
Yeah, it does get half because you are raging, but as it essentially just rakes its claws across
Oh.
you. And then as you're kind of reeling from that, it's going to try and take a bite out of you.
Ah, rude.
And that. Oh, nat 20.
Oh,
Jesus.
Oi. Okay.
Give me a second here because that's a.
it's gonna look like
I mean-
Pac-Man against Azares. Jeez.
Yeah, I mean, on the upside, at least it's a series. Anyone else would probably just be
Yeah.
down at this point.
Meat shield. It's all right, guys. I got this.
She's missing half a leg. No, it's
Yeah.
cool.
It's like the Black Knight from Monty Python.
That's literally what I thought of too when he said missing a leg.
It's but
Okay.
a flesh wound. A flesh wound? Your bloody head's missing.
Okay, as it sinks its teeth into you, you take 31 points of piercing damage.
What?
Slumps down onto your shoulder.
Jesus.
These razor sharp teeth,
Nice.
but it is halved at least. So
Yeah, so it's 15, right?
yeah, we round down. Yeah.
Holy crap
Um,
sticks. Okay,
and
that
then-
hurts. Help.
Okay, the ooze above you, John,
Bloody
is
Nora.
going to again just try and swing at you with its weird arms, but that's a 5, so it kind of swings back, but it just goes wide and misses you. And then the other ooze that has been baned is going to... He's going to try and fling some more acid at you, Razix, actually. Oops. That's a nat 1, though. It just... It tries to, but it can't line up the aerodynamics. It missed math class, unfortunately. And it just goes,
math class.
Yeah.
He was bullied by the other kids. He couldn't pay
the other
attention.
oozes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that... Would he move? Nah, he's kind of happy where he is. Okay, Talora is going to... Okay, Talora's just going to do the same again. She's going to hold up her arm and try and fire off another blast of frost towards the... That's a nat 1 from...
Classic Talora.
Loren, come on! Yeah, she raises her arm, but as she tries to cast the spell, it just fizzles in her hands. And
That's
and
2 nat 1s from Talora so far.
Can you
Bloody
believe
hell.
Why do we even have Talora in this party?
I don't know.
She
She's the
then
worst.
moves and essentially ducks behind this this column of stonework and takes cover. Okay,
Feels bad.
I'll go ahead and move back down to here, and I'll go ahead and shoot at the big guy.
Okay. I would say you probably have to just move one more square down,
Sure.
just because Talora and the column of stone is in your way.
Always in my way, Talora. All right. That's a 19.
And that's against the Crassus, is it?
Correct.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, that is... No. That is 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So you raise your gauntlet and just fire off this blast towards it, and it just sinks deep into its shoulder, and you can see more of this purple blood splatters out and just kind of hits the river and starts to drift away. But yeah, it's still up. Anything else you'd like to do?
I'll use my bonus action, reload the gauntlet, and in my turn.
Okay.
I would shout at
rather-
Kevros and be like, help!
I did it the other way. I reloaded my gauntlet with my bonus action at the start of the round and shot it in
All right, no problem. No
semantics.
problem. Kevros.
Right. I'm going to swing for the Crassus, shockingly.
Please help.
Yeah, I'll look over at his nose and be like, ugh. Help in a legionnaire.
What the hell?
Alright.
Come on. I'm helping.
That's, again, 23 to hit.
That hits, yeah.
Alright. Okay, that's a 1, I reroll. 11 points of slashing damage.
Okay. You swing your sword strand, and just as it's kind of screeching out towards this area, so you just swing and catch it deep in the jaw and score this big gash along its cheek. But it is now covered in wounds and bleeding profusely.
Literally, as my swing ends, I rest my two-handed sword on my back. I'm gonna action surge, just point my hand towards the wound I just caused, and cast magic missile.
Cool.
That's
Okay.
foolproof.
Sure, if you want to roll damage for
Alright.
that.
That sounds
First
so
two
cool.
are a... Well, okay, this is banging. Alright, a 5 and a 4, so 9. And a... Alright, a 1, so 2. So 11 points of force damage.
Okay, so you hold out your hand, and these pulsating green balls of fire essentially just go flying off in a burst of 3 towards its face, and it just gets battered once, twice, and then as it kind of looks at you for the last time, the last one just catches it square in the forehead, and it just immediately falls down and it falls back into the river, and yeah, that's done it. As essentially its body just kind of drapes back, and you begin to see it get slightly carried away by the current.
I look over to him and I say, when this is done, you're teaching me how to do that.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna run. I'm gonna run over to stand beside Razix.
Okay,
Alright, my turn.
all right, Vicario.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and make an attack with my spiritual weapon.
Okie doke.
The Ooze. I got a 1.
Oh. Oh dear, does not.
Well,
hit.
luckily, it's a bonus action, so I get to do something else.
Sure.
So I am going to toll the dead. I mean, Kevros is there. Yeah, they should be fine. I'm going to toll the dead, the baned one.
Should be
The baned
fun.
one. Okay, so what save is that? A wisdom save.
Famous last words.
That is wisdom, yes.
Okay, that brings him down. That's a -1. So
Wow.
All right. That
Wow.
took damage last time, right?
yeah, so it'll be a D12 for this.
8.
8.
Damage.
Okay, so you just call out and channel something, and as you do, the ooze essentially loses its form and just turns into this complete puddle of goo and burning acid that bubbles, and you can see bones and organs kind of drifting amongst the remains of it, but whatever it was is now gone.
Gross.
Yeah. Anything else?
I'll move up to here.
Okie doke.
Yeah.
All right. Razix.
Just to start my turn, I guess I'm going to invoke my spores on the remaining oozling just so I can start that with my reaction.
Okay. So what save is that?
Con save for you.
Okay. The ooze rolls a 13 total.
That fails?
Oh, okay.
That
Here we
succeeds.
go. Oh, that succeed?
Wait, does the attacker win? Would I win in that? It's a tie.
No, I need to roll a 13, or if your DC is 13, I'd roll a 13 or above.
Yeah, you roll to succeed,
the
so you roll
rolls.
succeed at saving, you roll succeed at hitting.
Right. So that fails. But I don't really want to touch this thing because I was not a fan of getting acided. So I'm going to cast Poison Spray.
Okay.
So it's
is
another
that
con save.
okay? This is a save, is it? Okay.
Yes.
All right, a con save. Let's see. Okay, that's 7 total.
Ah! That fails.
Okay.
And it's so I point my hand towards the thing, and a puff of noxious gas comes out of my palm. It does.
Okay.
Wow, that's not bad. 7 poison damage.
It's poison damage. Okay, so yeah, you just kind of extend your hand, and this gas just covers it, and whatever human remains and organs essentially power this thing are obviously affected in some ways. It begins to kind of choke and cough, and it's taking damage from that, I will say. Okay, anything else?
That's it for me.
That's it for you. Okay, Azares.
All right, I am going to move over to the guys up here. This is the last one, right? There's no other oozlings.
Looks that way, yeah.
Can I get past them, or can I?
Yeah, I would. Unless they want to stop you, you could go there. I don't mind. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna reckless attack on this guy.
Okay. Do you want to roll with advantage then?
Yeah, why not? That is math. 13 or
Okay.
will that hit?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. Otherwise, it's 16. So if they both hit, then I can knock it prone.
Okay.
Right.
Both hit. So it's
Okay.
prone. Somehow.
Sweet.
I think you're about
It's-
to knock it dead.
Oh well, whatevs. That's 6, 7, 8. So 8 plus the radiant damage, 6, 7, 8. So 16.
16.
Jesus
Okay.
Christ.
It's bruised. Like,
The
okay,
series
so
is spooky.
Die!
you swing your axe over your head and swing it down onto the creature, and as you do, this kind of parts and more of this goo and whatever fluids are inside it just spray out and burst all over you, and you take 6 points of acid damage, but its form is essentially almost looks like a deflating balloon as it kind of the fluids inside it spray out and it begins to just collapse onto the ground in this puddle of whatever remains of it. Yeah, that seems to be it. So yeah, why don't actually we take a break here before we rejoin the party afterwards? I think it's a good spot before we get into the next branch of stuff. So yeah, if you guys just give us 5 minutes for drinks and bio breaks, and then we'll be right back. Okay.
All right, we're off.
Hi everyone, we're back. So yeah, we just left the party there after they had defeated the Crassus and his Ooze buddies. Now you guys are kind of coming together, catching your breaths after the fight. You're still in this kind of cavern, so what would you like to do?
I'm popping a healing potion.
Sure, go
How
ahead.
do those work again?
Is it just a standard one?
Yeah.
If you just want to roll 2d4 plus 2.
2d4. Come here. This dice is so hard to pick up. Bloody hell.
I would like to listen and see if I hear anything. Did anything else maybe nearby seem to be coming our way? Did we make a lot of noise? Maybe over the sound of the waterfall? I know it's quite loud in here with that.
I think your gun's pretty loud as well.
Yeah, I mean, you would just know the
Listen,
gun.
Kevros, shut up.
especially underground, it does reverberate and echo quite far. But why don't you make a perception check to see if you can hear anything else?
While they're doing that, I'm gonna go up and like have a look at one of the Ooze bodies, mostly out of interest of like what the are they doing to these people?
Sure.
I got 5 in total. Is that 5 hit points I get back?
Yeah, so that's 2d4, and then you add 2 to that.
Yeah.
Already. So you got 5 total.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
I'm drinking another one.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Kosh, what did you get on your perception check?
Got an 8.
An 8. Now you can't really hear anything over the roaring sounds of the waterfall. And Kevros, looking at the remains of the Ooze, is it?
Yeah, I just want to see like. I guess I'd be trying to get a sense of, if it makes sense, like how far gone from human are they? Like, are they completely changed, or are they humans with modifications? If that makes sense.
Okay. Why don't you make a, I guess, investigation?
All right.
Here.
I actually rolled pretty good. Do I have a bonus? Oh, I do. I'm a smart boy. That's 19 overall.
19. Okay, from what you remember of looking at them just when they were kind of fully formed and their remains here, the sense you get is that whatever it is not fully grown. That's kind of the main thing you can take away. It looked, I don't know, fresh, I guess, and unformed, whatever it would eventually grow into. As for whether this was originally a person changed into this, or whether it was something that was grown to be like this, you can't say really. It's kind of past your knowledge, right. I would say.
I would once again lean over to Talora and just be like, creating these things, that's one thing, but not hiring a good enough contractor to build your enclosures for them, that just shows a complete disregard.
Well, I guess sometimes the experiment is just get away from us. I don't know.
So I thought you were Simic, not Is It. Don't expect that from you guys, but
well, I'm sorry. And I will now move on.
Loren is now a southern fair maiden.
Maybe I should just do a Texan voice, just completely.
Yeah.
Howdy, y'all.
How's my gear serving me?
Yeah, actually, I was going to say, what if
One
it's
more
instead of trying to
plan,
voice Loren,
Kevros.
it's just the camping gear guy?
can I say Simic from Texas or dumb?
Oh my gosh.
I would look at Ares and know that she had just gotten a giant bite out of her. And Ares, do you need any additional healing? I don't do it often, but I can.
Please, I won't say no. I have a feeling we might get a few more encounters like that.
I'd look back at the party, specifically at Razix and Talora, because they're quite visibly of what guilds they are. And
yeah, I would definitely.
I would say. So you're telling me we've got a Golgari and a Simic, and neither of you can explain this? And I'll jab the Ooze with the edge of my sword.
You've got that right. No idea.
Oh, why don't I make an insight check for Talora to see?
You're more up front than most Golgari.
Okay.
I'm a little naive.
Well, it takes honesty to admit that, so. Fair play to you.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Sure, go ahead. And sorry, Azarius, did you roll your healing for the second healing potion you drank as well?
I used all 3.
Wow.
Yeah.
Boy.
You just drank
Someone's
3
afraid.
healing potions?
That did nothing to my hit points. I'm like, that thing just chowed me in half.
We could have probably taken a short rest, but I respect the effort to just
It's because, to be fair,
just
like
3 shots.
you're a barbarian, so a standard healing potion is like a multivitamin gummy to you. Like it's not gonna do much.
Okay. So,
Well, I'll get some better ones next time.
so Razik, what did you roll on your
I
healing?
rolled 15 total.
Whoa.
It's pretty
Not bad.
nice. Roll.
So does that mean I go up 15?
Yes, you do.
Oh, sweet. I'm back to full health. Thank you.
All right. So you did just burn a lot of your resources.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
So Talora kind of takes a look at the bodies, and she's going to make an investigation check, but it's only an 11. She looks at them and kind of shakes her head and says, I don't recognize these at all.
All right. Brilliant.
Well, I mean, do we just want to keep moving forward? I'm not really too
That
keen
would
on
seem to be the
sticking
plan.
around.
Hopefully more of these things won't crawl out behind us.
Aye. Let's keep moving.
So yeah, do you guys want to take the stone staircase, essentially
Yeah.
be the only way out of the room? Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys head up this staircase, and as you guys progress further along, it kind of is a small cavern and a pathway that kind of leads out until you get to what forms into another kind of stone pathway like you've gone through before. And this one is again lined with more torches, and you all follow it. There's something really kind of sticks out. It takes you follow it for about 3-4 minutes or so. It seems quite straightforward until you, after rounding a bend, you come to what looks like it's kind of a T-junction, I guess. There seems to be a doorway to your right, and the path also continues along and then bends 90 degrees to the left. So, what would you like to do?
Should we check this door?
So,
You could have gone that day.
is there like a door at the end of the bend, or is it just...
Well,
so-
I assume we can't see because it turns away from us.
Yeah, so straight in front of you, the path continues on and then turns 90 degrees to your left. And then to your immediate right is another kind of pathway that ends after about 10 feet or so in two large metal double doors. And they're looking at them, they're kind of quite ornately worked, more so than the doors you've seen already. There's much more carvings on the metal.
Can I go up and inspect the carvings against my knowledge?
Sure. Make again, what would a history check would probably be the only thing I
Yeah,
think.
I'll
you
roll
would do.
history. That is an 18 overall.
An 18. I mean, you couldn't really place exactly what these carvings mean, but it's certainly more. You get the sense that this is more ornate. Whatever is beyond this door is perhaps a main chamber in wherever you are, or something like that. But who exactly carved
I
it?
don't recognize any of the specific.
No, there's
cards. All right.
nothing really recognizable. Nothing you've seen before.
Okay,
Um,
that in itself is noteworthy to me. All right.
I could just very quietly walk up to that bend and then peek around just to make sure that there's nothing down there, and then we could go through these more important looking doors.
It's fine by me.
On your own head,
Sure.
mate.
Okay,
I will stealthily approach that wall and just peek around.
sure. Go ahead and make a stealth check.
Okay. Unnatural 20.
Unnatural 20. Okay. You look around the corner. I'm afraid there isn't much to see. Again, the pathway bends another sharp 90 degrees to your left, but it just seems to be another stone pathway. I'm afraid.
Okay.
But you get a good look at the stonework. It's very nice. But this
Nice builders.
This is about another kind of 50 feet along this path is where it bends again to the left.
Okay. I'll just make my way back to the group and say it just leads to a very lengthy corridor. Nothing is in the corridor until it takes another sharp turn. I think we can probably check out this room first. Doesn't look like there's anything important down there, and if there is, we can get to it after this.
Let's rather check everything along the way, lest he sneak past us while we...
Yeah, that's
down
kind of what
front.
I'm thinking too.
Okay, so as always, are you just whole hogging the doors or
I am not a hog, good sir.
whole minotauring the doors?
I will minotaur the doors, yes.
Okay, all right. So yeah, you kind of turn the handles and open into what is a very large chamber. It's a rectangular shaped room with this kind of high curved ceiling, and you can see there's kind of carvings along the wall, and there's more torches kind of illuminating this room itself fairly well. There's large stone columns kind of running along the edges of the room that seem to support the roof, and you can see the walls themselves are again carved in more of these floral and geometric patterns that you've kind of grown familiar with being underground here. In front of you is kind of this short stone staircase that leads down kind of into the main chamber itself, and flanking that is just kind of two simple looking metal braziers that are empty. And you can just make out off to your left and right are two large statues. You can't really make them out from where you are. There's kind of an alcove that the both of them are kind of tucked into. And then straight ahead from you, in the kind of center of the chamber, is a large fountain, but it doesn't seem to be running. There's no water in the basin of it. And then further on from that, at the other end of the room, there's a much larger, what would look to be an entrance. It's kind of this large archway, kind of a stone one, but there's no doors on it. Essentially, the archway seems to have crumbled and the stone kind of collapsed in front of it, and the entrance is almost completely blocked up. You can see just a single shaft of daylight peeking through the rock kind of up towards the top of it.
I'm going to go in and have a bit of a better look at the fountain.
I'll follow him as he does that.
Okay, are you all heading in?
Yeah, I'll
go and check the statues.
Sure thing. Okay. So, those of you who come to the fountain, you kind of take a closer look at it, and why don't Kevros and Azaris, why don't you guys make a perception check each?
All right.
Can I? Since actually, don't worry about it. Never mind. Forget it.
It's 21.
Okay. And Azaris?
17.
17. Okay. So, as you guys approach the fountain, and Kosh, you immediately get this as well. As you guys kind of take a closer look at the fountain, you see it, and it there's nothing particularly noticeable about it. It's kind of carved quite nicely, but it looks very old. The stone is kind of crumbling and deteriorating. There's bits of mossy growths and mold flanking it around the edges of it. But you all smell, especially you, Kosh, you immediately recognize this kind of almost acrid smell, and it kind of just kind of tinges the back of your nostrils. It seems to be coming from towards where the doorway has collapsed, or the archway at the other end of the room has collapsed.
Okay. Do I recognize this smell as gunpowder, explosives?
Make an insight check.
Okay.
I would say for this.
Uh-oh, that's not good. 11.
11. I would say, because it's Kosh, you do recognize the smell from kind of any experiments you've run that have dealt with explosives in the past. It's kind of that lingering odor that hangs around after something is detonated, either as intended or mistakenly. But as to what the exact nature or chemicals that were used in whatever it was, you don't know. But it does seem to be coming from the back end of the room. Okay. So I'll quickly now jump to, just because it's all kind of happening simultaneously, Vikaru and Razix, you guys are checking out the statues.
Yeah.
Okay. So the statue on the left of the doorway as you came in seems to represent some sort of elven man. He has kind of long parted hair, or hair parted in the middle, and he wears this kind of long flowing robe. And in one hand, he's holding a simple-looking staff, but at the top of the staff, there's some sort of spherical object embedded into it, and it's kind of this carved lattice that surrounds it. And his left arm is kind of extended out down to his waist, but the hand is kind of broken off, and you can see there's kind of stone rubble on the ground at the base of it. And the statue on the right of the doorway seems to show an elven woman. She has kind of short, cropped hair, and she appears to be wearing some sort of plate armor that covers most of her, but you can see the breastplate and gauntlets and the pieces of armor that cover her ankles and her shins are all carved with more of these floral patterns. And in one hand she holds a simple sword, which is held by her side, just pointing towards the ground.
Are it's all stone, right? They're not like actually holding a weapon or anything.
Yeah, it's completely carved from stone. There's no gems or rubies embedded in the.
Nothing we could pillage.
No, I'm afraid not. And they are quite large as well. They reach almost to the top of the ceiling, but they do look very deteriorated and kind of crumbling apart in places.
I'll point to the back of the room where I smell the kind of explosives, gunpowder scent coming from, and say, I think at some point, as kind of given the fact that this room is deserted, obviously not too recently, but at some point they were definitely doing mining and clearing out things of interest here. I can smell gunpowder on the air, a bit from my own experiments, but it's nothing like faint, or rather, it's nothing recent, and I think they probably took everything of interest out of this room.
All right. Can I go check out this arch at the other side of the room?
Yeah, sure. If you want to, as you get closer, just make a perception check. Is anyone going with Azares?
I'd go have a look after you.
Okay. Azares, you can roll this with advantage if you'd like.
That was, yeah, please, because that was terrible. That was a 6, and that was a 13 this time.
Okay, I mean, this isn't that hard to notice. As you get closer, the kind of acrid smell begins to kind of tickle at your nostrils, and you can see next to the kind of rubble that's kind of crumbled towards it, there are deep black scorch marks across the ground, and a lot of the stonework is cracked in it. You could probably even guess something explosive was detonated here to either side of the archway, probably to close off the entrance.
So there's no like way, can I see through it all, or is it just like...
No, it's just stone and ground just piled on top of each other, just a thick wall of it, really. There's nothing you can kind of look through to see what's behind it, I would say.
Now the question is, did someone just have an oopsie, or was this to keep something in or out?
More likely what happened is they cleared it out of anything valuable, and to avoid any kind of problems, miners, a lot of the times, if you don't really care about people's safety, you just blow it when you're done. Bring it all down, you don't have to worry about it. So
you do
makes
a lot
me
of
very
mining.
confident in the in structural integrity of this place.
Yeah.
Just...
I think it looks
seems
like someone
weird.
didn't want to be followed to me.
oh, they'd have to come out at some point, right? I doubt Yormen's on the other side of this.
Wait, didn't you say we see daylight through it?
Yeah, towards the very high top of it. there seems
Oh,
to be
I thought that was a
shadow.
different thing.
Sorry, my bad.
No, that's not your fault. Oh, okay. Well, then never mind. I don't say that.
It's fine. Don't worry. That whoopsie doopsie by both of us there. So
Oh, well then, you're probably right. If there's daylight coming through, they probably are trying to cover their tracks. Did anyone recognize what those symbols on the door meant?
Not me. I had a look, but didn't recognize anything. And I know a lot about things like that you'd find around here, but a lot of the things in here are alien to me.
Vicario, why didn't you make a religion check for me?
Sure. I'm proficient in religion. What is that number?
I would certainly hope so.
I got a 6.
A 6. Okay, you spend a moment to try and recount your memories of anything that looks familiar, or you may be able to provide some insight here, but I'm afraid nothing kind of springs to mind.
I would say though, I think it is pertinent to check all of our options. So I feel as if we should still check the other route before we end up trying to dig that out, because that might take a while to dig out.
I agree.
sure we
I think
have
that
the
makes
time.
sense.
I think you're probably right.
Can I kick a few stones away just to, like, I don't know, on the off chance there's something hidden in there? Just want to, like, kick a few things.
Sure, yeah, you can do that. You walk up and try and like kick a few rocks and stones away and move some of the rubble, and it sets up just kind of a small little avalanche and kind of crumbles.
We all
to the ground,
die
but-
terribly.
Yeah, the entire chamber collapse, and Azares has killed the party. We'll see you next. You uncover just more rubble and dirt that's kind of piled on.
All right. So, like, nothing of interest in there.
nothing of interest. It is a thick wall of rubble that you would know would take a very long time for you all to clear out.
All right. I don't feel like digging. So, what say we check the other way?
All
Makes
right.
the most sense to me.
Sounds good.
Cool.
All right. So is
My
this the
turn
way
to
that It's just the way that Kosh kind of scouted out briefly. You just want to head down that chamber. Okay, so yeah, you guys...
I will say, just not to cut you off, Craig, but as we kind of get maybe like 25 feet down that corridor, I will say to the party, maybe I just do what I did last time and give the corner a peek before we approach it. Once we're all a bit further down the corridor. I didn't want to go too far ahead of the party, but now that we're all headed this way, once we get a bit closer.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, okay,
if you want to scout out, go ahead.
Okay, you want to...
Yeah, Craig, when we get about 30 feet away from the corner, I'll ask the party to stop and stealthily try to approach him.
Okay, make a stealth check first then.
18.
Okay.
Sneaky little
So
rat.
you guys all watch Kosh just move without almost making a sound as he quietly walks along the edge of the corridor, kind of keeping to the side before he gets to the end and takes a peek around the corner. So Kosh, you'd like to make a perception check for me.
Oh, I thought that was a natural 1 for a second. That's a 7 plus 1, 8.
Okay, I would say this isn't that hard to see. So you look around the corner and you can see the stone pathway again extends until it bends 90 degrees to the right, about 30
I hate
feet.
this place.
It is quite maze-like, but between that, about halfway along, you can see, again, there's more torches kind of illuminating the pathway here. Looks to be a body on the ground in front of what looks to be a doorway to the right. And the doorway looks kind of closed from where you are. But exactly what that body is, I would say you couldn't really make out. You just can see a figure on the floor.
Okay, I'll go ahead and motion to the rest of the party.
Okay, you all
Alright,
see...
we'll go.
Make a come hither gesture.
I guess I will go hither. Go
Okay,
thither.
yeah.
I shall follow.
Okay. So, what would you guys like to do? Are you all waiting behind Kosh as he's at the corner?
Yeah, I'll just point out to the group the body in the doorway.
I just walk up and have a look at the body. I just walk around.
Okay, man of action. I like
Whole hog.
it. So Kevros walks out, and I assume, are the rest of you following Kevros, or are you hanging back?
Yeah, we go. I'll follow him.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and follow.
Okay.
I would do whatever Talora's doing.
Okay, Tora is hanging back but following.
We're both frail, all right?
Yeah. So the two of you, or will you all move out towards this body? And Kevros, as you get closer, you can kind of identify that this is a similar looking body to the
Like
Agents.
ooze-like creature. Oh, the
no,
agents.
not the people that you saw
Hedge
kind of take
funds.
charge.
Can I have a rummage, see if there's another one of those fancy charms on them?
Sure, go ahead. And I will say, as you get closer, you can see there's this kind of metal door just off to your right that leads into a chamber, but you can't. It's just kind of open a small crack, but you can't quite see into it. But if you want to make an investigation check for me on the body,
Yeah, that's going to be a solid 5 from me, Chief.
okay. So I would say, because again, this isn't that hard to see, as you kind of start looking through the body and trying to find any valuables or anything that it might have left on it. As you kind of turn it over slightly, you can see its face has an almost. The skin is kind of almost not burned away. It's not like charred, but it's almost like the skin on top has been taken off some way, and the kind of glistening muscle and sinew beneath is kind of exposed, and that kind of runs from the top of their head down to their jaw, essentially.
Ugh,
And you can see bits of bone
these
poking through.
poor bastards.
Gross.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
That looks worse than getting impaled by something.
This is why I don't experiment on anything alive or that was ever living.
Well, it's good to know you don't, play people.
Yeah.
Bear that in mind.
You're gonna love learning more about some of the members of our party, but I promise.
I'd imagine so.
Yeah. I don't think any of us are this barbaric. No pun intended. Obviously.
Alright, well, for the door, there's a door, they're in front of a door, right, this body?
Yeah.
What does the door look like?
Again, it's another metal door, but you can kind of see it. It's open a crack, and around the handle of the door, it looks heavily dented in, like something with tremendous amount of blunt force might have been applied to the door to get into it.
Alright. So I
What
assume
can
I
we-
can, open it
That's
fairly
terrifying.
easily?
Slightly. What can we
Sorry.
hear, Craig? If anything.
Okay, make a perception check for listening.
Oh, that's a terrible. That's a 5.
Okay. Listening out, you don't hear anything apart from kind of the distant shifting of the stones and foundation of the underground area that you're in. Kevros, sorry, what did you want to...
Just like, does the door open easily because of it?
Yeah, it is open a slight crack.
Okay.
It's not hanging off its hinges, but you can kind of guess you could just push it open.
All right. Yeah, I'll just push it open a little bit.
Okay, so you push the doorway open, and it reveals kind of this relatively small square chamber. There's torches on the walls of it, illuminating the interior, and you can see there's 2 large stone tables that run along the wall, just off to your right, and there are various shelves kind of carved into the stone walls, which house a number of kind of small urns and jars. And across the top of the table, you can see, well, it looks quite out of place. There's kind of a rack of vials and bottles with various kind of different colors of liquid inside, but it looks much newer. It doesn't look like it belongs with the rest of the kind of stuff that's kind of arranged in the area. And then off to your left, there seems to be a small bedroll on one side of the room with a backpack just kind of resting on the wall alongside it. And then there's 2 bodies on the floor. Another one looks to be another one of these hooded figures, and they're splayed out on their back, and they have another one of these large marks running from their shoulder down to their waist, and you can see again more of the kind of glistening flesh is exposed. But then the other body looks to be that of a merfolk. Actually, you can see kind of their skin is made up of various hues of blue with kind of large frills and fins that circle her head. They kind of have a red glow to them, and she's wearing this kind of dark grey robe with a dark brown, almost black cloak that's kind of draped across her shoulders. But she appears to have several wounds across her chest, and bluish kind of purple blood covers the floor around her body.
Is she dressed in a stereotypical Simic way, or does this seem more like a non-affiliated merfolk?
Make a, I guess. I would say investigation check for that.
And sorry, Craig, just for my own knowledge, did Kevros relay all that to us, or are we all in the room?
I would say you guys were, unless any of you wanted to hang back, you guys were kind of watching Kevros look in, I imagine.
Okay.
Is a 13.
13. I mean, it's hard to say. She's not covered in like glowing green limbs and tentacles and stuff like that, but she may be a member of the Simic Combine. But she doesn't seem to have anything identifiable on her.
Do we think it's safe to go in the room and get a better look?
I'm gonna have a look at the vials, and do I recognize any as like common healing solutions,
I would like to do
for
the same.
instance, or other things that I may be used to?
Yeah, I mean, okay. So as you step into the room, there's kind of a crunch under your feet as you step on broken glass that looks to be from.
I am a proficient herbalist, I should say.
As there's kind of more vials that have been shattered along the floor, but the potion, there's 5 potions or vials and jars in the kind of rack. 2 of them are kind of small, thin vials with kind of a red liquid, and you can kind of immediately recognize those are standard healing potions.
All right.
And then there's a larger one that kind of has a slightly bulbous base, I guess is what you would describe it. But it again has that kind of deep red liquid, and it looks to be a greater healing potion. The other 2 potions, one of them is kind of a slim vial with kind of a yellowish liquid that's slightly bubbling. And then the other vial is kind of, again, it's probably the largest of them. It's kind of this silvery liquid inside that kind of glitters and shifts.
I'm gonna pick up the silvery, glittery one. Can I give it a sniff, give it a look?
Yeah, why don't you make I guess just a...
Oh my god, do I get to use my kit?
Yeah, I guess that would probably be the way we do it. Yeah, if you're not gonna...
I was going to say, because I'm right next to him, can I help him?
Are you proficient in herbalism?
But Akash works with a lot of
Razix
things.
is, let's go. Herbalism gang.
Yeah, I would say you can have advantage on your herbalism kit.
Alright, and I'll make... would that be like a... Because you decide what it is.
I'd probably say wisdom for this.
Cool. Alright, so it's just my proficiency. First one is a 15, And the second one is a 5, so 15.
Okay. Looking at them both, the yellowy bubbling one, it's a fairly common potion. It's a potion of vitality. You've seen it before. You might have even brewed a few in your time yourself. So I'll just paste this now again into the cast chat. But for anyone who would like to know, potion of vitality is when you drink this potion, removes any exhaustion you are suffering and cures any disease or poison affecting you. And for the next 24 hours, you regain the maximum number of hit points for any hit die you spend.
Okay.
So
Nice.
and then I would say you'd probably know what this is. The other one as well, this kind of silvery one with spark, that's kind of sparkling and glittering. You recognize it as oil of sharpness, actually. You would know this is an oil. Well, actually, again, I'll post details of it into the cast chat, and I'll read it out for everyone else. So this is this oil can coat one slashing or piercing weapon, or up to 5 pieces of slashing or piercing ammunition. And applying the oil takes 1 minute, and for 1 hour, the item is magical and does +3 bonus to attack and to damage.
Ooh.
I'm going to take the oil of sharpening and say, well, this one's mine. The rest of you can squabble over the rest.
Do we know what that is? Like, do we recognize it as well, or is it just him that...
I assume Razik's in the...
Razik's probably I assume him and Kevros might have been discussing it since they were helping each other, essentially.
Yeah, I imagine we would have been talking about it.
While they're doing this, can I check out the Demir hooded looking guy?
Sure, make an investigation check.
I'll hand the potion of vitality to Viserys. and the greater. You said there was a greater healing.
Yeah, there's
potion?
1 greater and 2 standard.
You might need these more than us.
Thank you. Hopefully I don't get eaten by a big sea monster again.
2 things. One, I'll just say to the party, maybe Talora and I, or Vikaru, somebody squishy should... I wouldn't use the word squishy. Somebody a bit less hardy might want to hold on to some of those potions too, just in case in a battle if something goes wrong and Vikaru can't get to us or we're separated. It might be good for one of us to have something like that.
I don't need your fancy potions.
Well, right. Vikaru doesn't really need them, but I would like one.
Talora says, yeah, I'll take one.
Of course she does.
She's even robbing our potions when she's not here.
So do you give her the potion, Kosh? Or whoever has the potion?
I think Kevros has...
No, I just picked up the oil and I walked out the way.
All right, well, I'll grab the 2 standard ones and I will take 1 for myself and I'll give 1 to Talora. Okay. And then I threw a 21 on my investigation of the Demir man.
Okay. So looking through the Demir body, you don't actually find really anything of value apart from kind of a slim metal rapier that he's got on his waist. He doesn't seem to be carrying any gold or any. He doesn't have a bandolier of daggers or anything like that. And there's not one of these Demir charms that you found earlier before. But essentially, this rapier is the only thing he has on him. But it looks like a well carved and well made rapier.
I like the idea of using a rapier, but I'm going to resist the temptation to take it and leave it. Specifically, when I looked, can I kind of tell what kind of injuries is he sporting? Is he missing half of his face? What's exactly appears to have
he
killed
has
him?
this kind of deep glistening, angry red welt, I guess. But make a medicine check.
Sure. 9.
It's hard to say exactly what might have caused that injury. So I would say you couldn't really figure it out.
Then I guess what I'll say is I don't even really want to know what killed him. Can I just see physical wounds on his body? Like
that wound that goes from his shoulder down to his waist is the only one. But I would say it looks like it's bad enough to kill someone. You can see bone kind of poking through the kind of exposed muscle. It looks like quite a painful and horrible way to die.
Right, I will stand up and wipe my hands disdainfully. I will never understand the Simic.
Says the is it?
Yeah, I know, right? Says the guy
I stick to metal
inside.
and reason and numbers.
Oh yeah,
and
it's reasonable to launch a flamethrower inside.
Listen,
Wait,
that flamethrower is made of hard material like steel. Nobody was cut apart for me to make that.
I will say though, that was the best chicken I ever had that was scorched on the ceiling. Mhm.
You
That
set a
was-
flamethrower off inside.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, my house is made of wood. Don't do that. All right.
Oh, don't worry, his was too. It's perfectly fine. House looks great. It's fantastic. Talora fixed it right up.
Well, thank you
Didn't
for
do
giving
it.
me another entry on my list of reasons I don't live in the city. But yeah.
Don't worry, I'll bring the city to you.
Oh, that's a serious threat to make to me, man.
Oh dear.
All right. Well, doesn't appear to be anything else in this room, and we got
Well, I would say there is still the body of the merfolk, and then there's a small knapsack next to her
right.
bedroll.
Oh yeah, I want to look at
Would
that
be-
bed. I want to go dig in that knapsack next to the
Okay.
bedroll.
I'll dig through the body.
Go
Yeah,
for
I'll-
it.
Actually,
Dig
no, I
through
won't.
the-
I'm tired of all these bodies. I'll just stand here.
Okay. Let's do Razix first, I guess. Do you want to make an investigation check for me on the body?
I rolled a 4. It was a 19, then it turned to a
Okay.
3. God damn.
So you kind of begin to kind of look through, but you're kind of put off by these stab wounds that are all across her chest, and she's kind of covered in blood. You think it's not really worth your time. So, but as Ares looking through the knapsack, you start to kind of ruffle through a few
I
different items.
rummage.
Yeah, there's a lot of kind of dried food and skins of water that you assume she's maybe taken down to survive, essentially. But you do find a thin notebook. But when you pull it out, there seems to be some of the blood that's kind of, because it's kind of at the bottom of the knapsack, it seems to have pooled around the base, and it's kind of dripping with this bluish purple blood from the merfolk.
Lovely. Can I ask Talora to press the what's the word? To make it clean?
Prestidigitation.
That one.
Okay, she says,
Do
sure
that.
thing, and casts prestidigitation and essentially removes all the blood that's
Cool.
collected along.
No, I will happily flick through the notebook.
Okay, so flicking through the notebook, it is what ink was in it has mostly run by the blood that was kind of, it was sitting in for a long time. But you do make out, why don't you make an investigation check? I would actually say, just to see what you can work out.
What is that on my sheet? Oh boy. Don't roll like crap. Oh god, 3.
3. Okay. Looking through it, the only passage you can make out reads, I made my camp in what looks to be a room where bodies were prepared for burial. I have not explored much else of this place. I feel very much like an intruder here. The sooner I am done, and then you can't make out anything else.
Why would she come down here? What do you make of this? I'm going to show it to the rest of the party. It's a
Oh.
diary.
My assumption is if she was out in the field looking for things, doing research, my assumption is she was looking for various life forms to splice into things.
Well, we've already met a Crassus,
Exactly. Maybe that was her
which
entourage.
is what that big thing was, if you didn't know. Pretty dangerous. So, sounds like the Simic would love it.
I didn't. I'm gonna write down some notes about the Crassus.
They're rare, though. I've
also
never
heard-
seen one
Knowledge is
myself.
power.
It hurts like a bitch to get bit by one. Write that down too.
Hopefully, I'll never find out.
No.
I doubt this will work, but can I see the notebook?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'll give
Almost
it a
100% sure this won't work, but I'll go ahead and cast Mending on the notebook.
All right, can you just paste the spell text of mending for me?
Yeah,
it
it's
won't work because I think it's only like repairs and like
Yeah,
cloth.
mending repairs something.
Yeah, I don't.
yeah. So
Just re-ink the page.
yeah, it won't re-ink the page basically, so I do it anyway. But
Okay.
I'll put it in the private cast chat.
Okay. Yeah, you cast on the thin notebook, but none of the text kind of reforms or anything like that. Nothing becomes more apparent after doing that.
Darn. All right, here you go, Says. Just wanted to try.
All right. I will flick through it one more time just to see if there's anything else in it, like something hidden.
No, nothing. No hidden rubles drop out or anything like that.
Drat. Okay, I'll stick it in my
Alright.
backpack then.
Sure.
As much as I'm not 100% on board with what the Simic do, I do appreciate them to an extent, if you could imagine that.
I think they're one of the less egregious guilds in the city. They might be a little bit.
I'm with you, Vicar. I'm with you.
You're not with me.
That's not what I meant either. I'm flattered, but that's also not what I meant.
That's
Oh
not.
dear.
You are.
Wait, is that not what that means?
As a science man, you're dense. I disagree with the Simics methods. I also disagree with the Is-It methods. Both of you.
You're Orzhov, though.
chaotic on my part.
Is it not your job to disagree with everyone except the Orzhov?
No, we we work with the Azorius all the time.
Does that mean you agree with the
With the
Golgari?
I will say this: you are a very efficient people.
You see, what you're all learning is that really you should be Gruul, because I've got no methods, so can't disagree with them.
I'm just saying, Vicar, I thought we were having a moment. It was like, if Dara was here, he would have definitely respected the moment, and...
Don't put words in Dara's mouth.
Like, I'm just saying, Dara was a great good cop. I was a good bad cop. We were a good team.
Dara would never have done
Hang
that.
on, you're a cop.
Metaphorically.
You're metaphorically Azorius.
No, Daru.
Not
Daru
Azorius. I was metaphorically a cop. Daru was literally Azorius.
And then he actually was a cop, right? He was, right? Craig, I'm not confusing people here.
Yeah,
Wasn't
He was
I thought
kind
he
of
was a desk
Listen.
guy.
At some
He
point,
does
we're going to
that?
make it out of this damned mine. And at that point, I would implore you all to not let him, and I'm going to jab a finger at Kush, speak to anyone in the rubble belt, alright?
Oh, don't worry. We almost had an incident with Gorhorn.
You
I'm
let
sure
him
you're
speak to
aware.
Gorhorn.
We didn't let him. He kind of just did.
Hey, I tried to offer my help, and then I
What
respectfully
did you say?
declined.
Did you tell him
Are
you were
not
going to bring the
right.
city here?
No,
Oh, God.
I don't tell people that's scary. I'll bring the city to them. I just merely told him if I offered my assistance to help plan the battle, and then he said no, and I said very well, and he didn't like the fact that I thought that I was smart enough to help.
You offered a Gruul war chief of about 40 years help to plan a battle.
I'm a smart guy. I've
You're a
studied battles
child,
before.
man.
I've done a lot of reading on battles.
Fantastic. Let's see how that holds up. I'm sure we'll find out.
I think we're getting a little sidetracked here.
Just a tad. Let's move on. If there's nothing else in here,
no.
I'm tired of all
no,
these
but
rooms. Why are there so many
If
rooms?
there was anything else there, I would get rid of them. Let's move on.
You're
Alright,
the strangest group I've ever seen come into the rubble belt, and that's saying
Alright.
something.
Where to next then? There's the path to your right that you have not yet explored if you want to continue down that way.
Yes.
Let's do that.
So you guys follow this pathway, and eventually, again, this one ends in another pair of worked metal doors that are carved. But these ones, and it's a similar image to what you saw on the room that led into where you faced the shadowy apparition. As well as the ivy that branches around the doorway, there's also a skull embedded in kind of the upper portion of each door, which has more of this ivy entwined about it.
Oh, good. Skulls.
My favorite. Right.
Yeah.
Let's all try not to die to some spooky shadow thing, shall we?
Well, sometimes skulls can be good, but given what we've seen,
I'd have
I'm
to
gonna-
agree.
I'm gonna go ahead and twin cast mage armor on me and Talora.
Does that make like a sound when he does that, or is it like sneaky?
I think
it's like
for
an
a
air
brief
horn
moment-
going off.
I have to speak certain
I
gibberish.
would imagine sort of like a blue light cascades across both of them that kind of like just kind of is tight along their entire forms and then just kind of fades away.
All right.
At least that's how I imagine it. I don't think it's written in the rules. That's what it looks like.
No. I for specifically Vicaro, I imagine like a weird like gossamer ghosty type thing, like a really gray sickly color.
Ooh.
It's just like
I like the
and
gossamer.
I assume that it would
Oh.
it would be in the same style as Orzhov armor,
I'm
as
gonna
real Orzhov armor.
I'm gonna see Vicari casting this and go, alright, I've seen enough. And on myself, I'm gonna cast Protection from Good and Evil.
All right. Okay.
What
Okay.
is
What does that do? And what does it look like?
Well, I imagine my armor just glows with a faint dark green shimmer.
Ooh.
I get peer pressured by everyone else doing stuff to prepare, so I drink from one of my vials and
Okay.
I'll cast
hyper.
Shimmer.
I kind of look at everyone and I'm like, ugh.
I'm also going
It's
to be
just
applying
a
that
door.
oil to my weapon.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
just a door.
All right. Okay. You've all done whatever preparation you need to.
To open a door to nowhere.
Would you like to open the door?
Right, I would like to have a listen at the door, and
Okay,
then I
you
will
all
open
listen
it.
at the door. Okay, make a
Yeah.
perception check.
Craig just banging his head against the wall. Open the door.
Oh boy, that's a natural one.
Natural one. You hear nothing.
Didn't think I would.
Wait,
Okay.
so do we think Yorman's on the other side of this door? I mean, I assume so, right? We all just casted a bunch of stuff.
As soon as I finish applying the oil, I will start opening. Not going to whole hog it, but I will begin to open the door.
Okay.
I will assist.
Okay. So you both get it.
Thank you for helping me open the door. It was really heavy.
It's double doors.
Okay, you
Right,
get the
right.
left one, I get the right.
There we go.
Throw a flashbang
Okay.
in and we'll run it.
Yeah. Breach. Go.
Okay. 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 Right. You will slowly open the door. There's nothing behind it. No. You will slowly open the door, and it reveals probably the largest chamber you've seen yet. It's a rectangular shaped room with this high ceiling that comes to about 50 feet in height. And again, there's more torches that kind of line the edges of the room and kind of up towards kind of the back of the room as well. But the ceiling is very high, and it's curved and ornate, and you can see there's kind of stately and ornate images carved into the edges of it. But then also as well in the kind of curvature of it, seems to be there's some sort of painting on the roof that's been done to potentially trick the eye into perceiving it as the sky, and there's clouds and that sort of
Ooh,
thing.
cool.
But most of the paint's kind of faded away by this point. So the main thing that draws your attention though is these lining the kind of floor of the chamber itself is just rows upon rows upon rows of these kind of small stone archways, and then set within each of them is another stone sarcophagus, but they all stand upright with the kind of I guess they would kind of open like a doorway facing, if that makes sense.
So like an Iron Maiden kind of thing.
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah. And then lining the walls are just several shelves where more and more and more and more of these sarcophaguses are stacked on top of each other. There's just, it's hard to even grasp how many there are. There's probably rough estimate, about 500 of these coffins in here. But you can see towards the far end of the room, there's another short flight of stairs that lead up to another doorway. And then just between the rows of sarcophagus, you can see there's more torches kind of illuminating them. But that's about it.
Oh boy, this looks. Can we get out of here as quick as we can? Like, just.
Yeah, maybe we just like make a mad dash for this out of the room. I'm kind of getting tired of all these rooms. I feel like if we just charge at Yormen, what could go wrong?
I don't think we want to make a mad dash anywhere in here.
Yeah.
I don't know what this is, and I don't know. There's something
A
wrong
really
about
quiet
that.
dash.
I'm just very.
Now, a quiet dash might be a good idea.
I'm very uneased. That's not even a word, but it's making my skin crawl.
Let us be haste.
Yeah. I've never heard of this. How could anything like this be here and no one know?
We've seen some weird things today.
Doesn't make much sense, I agree.
Right. I will slowly start walking through this
As we're walking, I'm gonna
place.
say to the group in general, like, that statue we found earlier. I didn't tell you at the time, but it's of something called a Gorgon that, well, if what I've heard from the storytellers is true, is something we really do not want to meet down here.
What's
What is a Gorgon?
It's well, apparently none have been seen for a long time, but it's a creature of snake and woman that can, well, storytellers say they can petrify a man with a glance.
What?
If we find one of those, there's no shame
like-
in not fighting that.
Like the bodies we saw?
Well, I'd like
like
to think
that
those
petrified?
are statues, and you know, they didn't look too much like real people, not any I recognize anyway.
Okay.
But I don't know. But that statue we found near the entrance, that was a Gorgon. I'm pretty sure of it. I've never seen one, but I'm pretty sure. I rolled
Okay,
really
right.
highly on my history check when I looked.
Okay.
Okay, I guess we should just be ready to avert our gaze in a moment's glance if
That's
we
the only
see-
thing I know. If we see it, we shouldn't fight it.
All
We
right.
should all follow
Okay.
Vikaru's shining example. And run.
Okay.
All right. Let's make our way slowly then. Keep your eyes open, but not too wide.
So are you guys just going towards the only other door that you can see that leads out of this chamber at the far end?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay. So you guys kind of pass through row upon row upon row of these coffins, and as you'll pass, you're going to take a quick look at them all, and they all just seem to be carved in, or the tops of the sarcophagus seem to be carved again in more of this floral and ivy pattern. You guys kind of pass through them without incident. None of them suddenly pop open or anything like
That's
that.
what I'm waiting for.
Until eventually you get to the set of double doors at the end of the room. And again, it's just more of these carved metal doors. And
I would like to listen again.
okay, go ahead and listen if you want to make a perception check.
Please don't roll crap. Oh, for Pete's sake, 5. I'm going to stop rolling now.
Okay, you don't hear anything, I'm afraid.
All right.
Coast clear.
I have no idea. I can't hear anything.
Does it matter if it is or isn't?
Not really.
At
I
this
was
point,
kinda
not
curious.
really.
It's
Let's,
only forwards. Yeah, I'll start opening the door with the Zeres.
Okay, so you guys open the door and it reveals a short stone corridor that has kind of 2 alcoves off to your left and your right, with this kind of a small little stone dais in the bottom of each, but whatever was there is gone now. But there's kind of a torch above each of them that kind of burns and gives off a low glow. And just at the end is another set of double doors.
There's a lot of doors in this.
I want to blow this whole place down. Oh my God.
I feel like we're walking around in circles, honestly. It's
Okay, Aseres,
next.
Kevras, you want to take care of these doors too? Show him his
Yep.
boss.
Are you just opening them?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. All right. So you pull back the doors and they kind of creak and eventually pull open, and it reveals a medium-sized room, I guess, compared to what you've just kind of passed through. It opens into this kind of large stone lime chamber that's lit by torches, and you can see there's kind of 2 circular alcoves off to your right, where there's a number of more of these stone coffins inside. And directly to your left, you can see there's a small chamber just with another single sarcophagus in it. And then in front of you, and kind of in the lower, is kind of a lower portion of the room with kind of a short step that leads down into it. And there's another kind of smaller staircase just around from that leads down there as well. And in the center of this kind of lower portion is a tall stone column that goes up to the ceiling of the chamber. And at the sides of the column itself are skeletal figures that seem to be carved from stone that are kind of sitting there with their arms kind of folded across their chests. Then you can also see there are several other figures in this room. So to your right, where those 2 kind of circular alcoves are 4 figures standing with glaives resting on their shoulders, and they look identical to the stone statue that you saw earlier back in the room with Unpurged written on the floor. But these are very clearly here and corporeal. They are not carved from stone. They are dried out and decomposing in some way. The clothing is threadbare and degraded, and where eyes would be are just 2 dark hollow pits. Hunched over in the center of the room, just kind of behind the stone column, is what I would say what most of you first mistook as kind of be a large pile of moss and fungus. It's actually a large creature about the size of a giant that slowly turns around and guards all of you as you enter. And as it gradually turns around, and where its face you would expect to be is kind of the skull of what looks to be a deer, and it has 2 large curved antlers coming out the side of its head, and its limbs are thick and covered in vines and root and plants and fungus kind of adorn it. Then you can see several small insects kind of run across it in between the pieces of fungus and plant. And then off to this kind of the left of the column Inspecting a wall with carvings on it is a figure of an elven man, but his skin is very pale and almost grey, and he has long, dark, straggly hair lining his face, and he turns to look at you, and you can see his eyes have a sickly green glow to them, and he's wearing this kind of long green and brown robe with various plant life and fungus attached to it, and across his back is a dark leather cape, and you can see there's more mushrooms and leaves have been sewn into it. And in one hand, he holds an open journal that he was kind of reading from before, and in the other, he holds a gnarled wooden staff that's topped with kind of a pulsating green gem. As you kind of enter, he says, "Begone, I'm busy." And he kind of turns back to the wall.
Most disrespectful villain ever. What the?
I'm going to quietly say to the group, does he think we're one of his lot?
I don't know. I mean,
it's a hard mistake to make. No offense, Azares, but...
As you guys start talking, he turns and says, "Did you mistake me for kindness? I said be quiet and be gone."
Maybe we'll do that. If you answer a simple question. Who are you?
At this point, he says, "I will answer no questions from the likes of you. I've killed more of your kind than you would know." And at that point, I would like us all to roll initiative.
I figured.
I'll move us on to the battle map.
I start raging.
Okay, no problem. So you guys are entering from the chamber to the right. And also, just as a small note here, look at the torches in the room.
Ooh,
They are moving and animating. Yes.
Hey,
Roll20 now
so
allows animations and gifts in rooms. So Biko has begun to make a library of animating things. So this is the kind of the first of things to come that you will hopefully see.
Oh.
That's so rare.
Big up Roll20 for adding that feature. We're not sponsored by them, but we could be. Hi, Roll20. You gotta shoot your shot.
Yeah, you gotta.
All right, let me change the music here. Okay.
I rolled well. Woo!
And
Can I get a turbo yikes?
That's a bonus action, John.
Ah, shit.
Okay, so if you guys, Kevros, if you just want to start us off and read out your initiative for me, please.
Oh, I didn't roll it. 13.
All right, Azares.
19.
Okay, Kosh.
19.
Okay, Vikaru.
I got a 4.
Razix.
So you won better. I got a 10.
Okay, and Talora rolled a 3.
Whee!
Jesus Christ, man.
Always coming in best of the worst. Here we go.
I don't understand. So yeah, if you guys just want to fill out your turn orders, and then I'll roll for these guys. Oh, that's not bad. That's an 18 for the enemies.
Bloody hell.
Craig, just so I know, in case I have to remind you, these decaying chaps we're fighting are quite clearly undead, right?
Yes.
Okay. And this large monster thing appears to be some sort of aberration, maybe.
Let me check.
Okay, I will send you the list of things that I'm protected from, and you can tell me when you attack us.
Okay. The large creature, just to save time, it isn't an aberration. It is also undead.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yes.
So I have, this is from my, for those listening, this is from my protection from good and evil for 10 minutes concentration. I imagine a minute or two of that has passed because we're walking through, but one willing creature I touch, me, is protected against aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Creatures of those types have disadvantage on attacks against me, and I can't be charmed, frightened, or possessed by them.
What a clutch decision to cast that on yourself.
I was like, I'm the most neutral character ever. I'm going to take the thing that protects me from things that aren't neutral.
Okay, alright, lovely stuff. So, who has the higher dexterity between Kosh and Azares?
I believe I do.
Yes, yeah, you got
one.
+3. Yes, okay, so Kosh, if you want to start us off.
Sure, I will. Oh God. Let me grab the ruler real quick. Yeah, okay. I assume I can get past Kevros in a series here?
Yeah,
Or do I need to?
Nope, no, it's fine.
Sure. So I'll go ahead and use 10 feet of my movement to go up here. And I will aim at these kind of two guys to my right.
Sure.
Up here in the top. and I will actually use my action, and I will push a button on my gauntlet, and I will use the flamethrower at them.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that dex save is
Oh,
Double dexterity save.
he's using it indoors again.
okay. So the guy on the one on the right rolls a nat 20. The one on the
course
left
he
rolls a not very dexterous. He rolls a 0. So the one on the left fails, and the one on the right passes.
Okay. They take 3d6 fire damage. So the one that succeeds takes 4 points of damage, and the one that fails takes 9.
Okay, so one moment. Okay, so the one on the right kind of managed to essentially duck out of the way of the majority of the blast, and its clothing begins to catch fire, and some of its skin begins to creak and burn. But the one on the right is essentially engulfed in flames, and it kind of stumbles a little bit before. Okay, yeah, it falls down. It just crumbles to the ground.
Also,
I'll do it.
I forgot about this at first. It's just a thing. Anything that's not being worn or carried catches on fire in the area, and it's a 15-foot cone. So anything in that area that's not being
Okay,
worn
I
or
would
carried.
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's anything there that is
Okay.
flammable. It's essentially all worked stone. So yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I
anything
will
else?
then use the rest of my movement to dash behind Kevros and Aseres again, and I would go ahead and just use my bonus action to cast Zephyr Strike on myself and end my turn.
Okay, Azares.
I am raging, just so that's clear.
I will say as well as Ares, this kind of lip here that's marked on the map, it's not, you could step down it easily. It's not
Okay.
like a large
Like a-
drop if you want to try moving down
Not
there. It won't
difficult terrain or whatever.
No, nothing like that.
I'm gonna turn to Karos and be like, "You and I want to fight the big thing."
I mean, sure. I guess.
I'm just checking because if I run in there, backup
Well,
would be.
To be
nice.
honest, I was gonna go hit his mates first, but this is way more than 6 seconds of talking, so you know.
Fine, never mind. I'm gonna move slightly forward, pick up my javelin, and hoik it at the other guy on the right here.
Okay, go ahead.
I like the word hoik.
Hoik
Yeah, it's a good word.
is a good word. That's 10. No,
Okay.
yeah, it's a 10.
And what about your, it's only on a melee attack, isn't it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just swing back your javelin and just throw it full force, and it just essentially impales his head, and his rotting skin is kind of deteriorated, and it essentially just rips off the top, and the head just kind of clatters into the back before the headless body just slumps down.
Did I not even have to roll damage on that?
Oh shit! Did you? Was that? I thought it was 11 to hit.
No, that was to. Well, it was 10 to hit, and then I didn't roll damage.
Okay, my bad. You did hit with the 10, I will say, and
Okay.
he had 2 HP. So I think whatever you rolled there.
Whatever I rolled would have hit. Okay, fine.
It worked out fine. It worked out fine. All right. Okay.
So strong.
So strong.
My
so
bad.
strong.
Sorry. A lot of moving parts as well. So I.
That's all right. I'm gonna move up here-ish to get around to these fellas.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't check how far that was. Oh, I think that's okay.
Yeah, it was
let me
like
just
30
double-check.
feet to me.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll move there.
Okay. Is that end your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. First things first. One moment, please. Okay. The two figures on the kind of top left next to you, Ares, they essentially begin to march very militaristically towards you with almost a robotic sense, I guess.
Mm.
And yeah, that's fine. They're going to swing at you with their glaives. So the one along the bottom rolls a 21.
That'll hit.
Okay. And you take 9 points of slashing damage. As it
You
kind
guys do 4?
yes, halved. So as it kind of swings back almost mechanically towards you, and then the other one's going to do the same thing,
Mhm.
and it rolls an 8.
Nope.
Okay. The large mossy creature with the kind of deer skull for a head bounds up to here, and then he's going to burn his action to move there and close the distance, and then that's going to end his turn.
I
And
invoke
then-
my spore zone.
All right, Razix. I'll invoke my spores on you in a second, mate.
Yeah, I figured.
What save is it?
Cons.
I think this guy's
Yeah,
got bigger spores.
Okay, that's
No.
that's a 10 from.
That fails.
Okay.
Not a spore measuring contest,
Takes-
guys. Come on.
3 necrotic damage.
Okay. So the spores kind of drift around it and kind of get amongst it and begin to kind of tear apart the form of the creature, but doesn't seem to have done any noticeable damage to it. Not in the sense of a resistance, I would say. And now the figure here. Okay, he is going to. Give me a moment here. I just want to double check something. Okay, he is going to step behind this column here and then lean out and fire off a blast of this kind of dark energy towards you, Kevros.
Do I have cover from this pillar between us?
Um,
Is that? I don't know if that's a pillar or like a little.
it's more just a map feature, really.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Don't worry about. Sorry, don't worry about it.
So yeah, this black beam of energy kind of arcs out, and let me see if it hits. Okay, that's 14.
That does not hit me.
Okay, so as it kind of it essentially pings off your armor, before he kind of shakes his hand and ducks back behind the stone pillar. But that ends their turn. So, Kevros.
All right, I'm going to. I guess I'm gonna. How big is this thing next to me?
It's pretty big.
Like to man scale, how big is it?
It's one moment. It's about as tall as a giant. Well, not a full giant. It's about the size of a half giant, I would say, or an ogre. And it kind of almost blocks off entirely the doorway that you've kind of managed to get through. And as for height, it's probably about 12 foot to 15 foot tall.
So he's a big bastard, but I can fight him. Right.
Yes.
I'm gonna take a swing with my sword at him, and I have +3 to hit because I have that oil on it.
Okay.
But that doesn't matter because that's a natural 20.
Hey.
All right. So that is 5 and 4, 9, and 5 and 3, 8, 17, 21 points of slashing damage.
Ooh.
Lovely. So you just swing back and just carve a deep gouge just into its shoulder and along its arm, and it kind of parts through the kind of
Oh,
moss.
sorry,
And
24 damage because the oil adds damage as well.
Okay. So yeah, a hefty strike there from Kevros.
All right, and I'm going to. Oh yeah, you can shift around in range, can't you? It's not free. That's Pathfinder. All right, I'll spend 5 feet of movement, and I'm going to position myself between it and the rest of the group.
Okay, no problem.
As much as I can in the doorway.
Sure.
All right.
Razix.
Is it possible from where I'm standing to see the other side of the creature, like this square here? Oh, why can't I click up this square here?
Not really. No, I wouldn't say so, unfortunately.
Okay. Can I move through Vicaru and go where Kevros was standing?
Yeah, but I would say that takes all your movement because it's
Sure,
a very cramped space right now.
No problem. I am just going to take a swing.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll bonus cast Shillelagh if it has worn off by now.
When did you last cast? How long does it last?
It casts 10 minutes.
Yeah, you've still got it.
Okay, then I'll just take a swing.
Okay. Yeah, you've probably still got it for another 8 minutes. So,
I rolled an 8,
that does not hit, I'm afraid.
and that's the end of my turn.
Okay. All right, Vicaru.
My chaps here have kind of made it difficult for me to execute the plan I was executing. Gross.
What, running away?
I have the same problem.
I imagine Vicaru's plan has like a trademark next to it, like the plan.
I'll sue you if you use my trademarked Vicaru's plan. So I guess I'm gonna use like 10 feet of movement to like squeeze into here.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the map doesn't really accurately reflect what space there is, so that's fine.
And then I'm going to cast Decaying Grasp upon this gross thing.
Okay.
So that is a melee spell attack. That is 20.
You're willingly touching this.
Yeah.
He's disgusted.
Or is it the Phantom Hand that's doing it?
No,
Yeah.
that would be cool if Mage Hand could upgrade.
That would be
like
cool.
Okay. Yeah, 21 hits.
Cool. So it takes 1d8. This is the Takes 8 damage.
Okay, so you just kind of grasp onto its mossy arm and just begin to course through with this necrotic energy that kind of causes the fungus and plant life around it to die, and the kind of insects that crawl along it. Some of them begin to crawl into your hand, but they just kind of die off as well.
And it can't take reactions until its next turn.
Oh,
I shall.
Very nice.
This was the plan.
The chief, let's go.
So that I can move here.
Sure.
And then let's say I move there, I think is good. Let me check that. Yeah, okay. And then I love bonus action spells, so I'm going to cast Spiritual Weapon.
Okay. Sure.
And summon the power of the Olzov right in front of this bugger, and I will hit him with it.
He's having a good time there.
17.
Yes, that hits.
Fantastic. So it takes 1d8 plus my spell mod. It takes 9 total damage.
Okay. So yeah, you just kind of swing down and smack it into his shoulder, and he kind of yells out in pain as it does. But yeah. Anything else?
Nope, that is my turn.
All right, Talora, what would you like to do? Okay, let's see.
The pitch isn't exactly right there.
The volume isn't right either. It's about 40 decibels on
You
it.
like come closer to the mic and then gradually move away as well.
Just fade away in the opposite direction over time.
Yeah.
Okay,
But turn the volume up as you do. That's the trick.
Okay, Talora is going to pull back her arm, and just this large orb of blue light kind of coalesces in her hand, and she's going to cast Freezing Ray at the large mossy creature. So let me roll 3 attacks for that. Okay, that hits. That misses. That hits. So 2 seconds. Let me just roll her damage.
Craig playing with himself.
Yeah, you guys can leave. Okay, yeah, she just pulls back her arm, and 3 blasts of pulsing blue light smash into this creature, and you can see kind of some of the moss and fungus on its shoulders and upper arms begins to freeze and crack with ice, but it just kind of smashes and rears back and pushes through it. And then Flora she's going to shuffle back 1 step there, and then that will end her turn. Okay, Kosh.
Okay, I will. I'll go ahead and take a shot at the woodland spirit.
It does look like Woodland Spirit from The Witcher, doesn't it?
When he was describing it, I literally just
Yeah, me too. I was like, oh my god, it's
Same.
Woodland Spirit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually thought of the monster from The Ritual, I think is the movie. Because it didn't have just like a deer skull. It had like a gross human hand thing. That movie's monster is creepy.
We've had an insight into Justin's mind now.
I essentially only watch horror movies. It reminded me of another horror movie.
Yeah, let's not go back.
Wait,
All right, Kosh.
wait.
what do you do?
Justin's new podcast.
I'm not sure if this is Vicaru or Justin. It's amazing.
Stay around after for Justin's insight into horror movies. Okay, Kosh. what would you like to do?
I rolled a 10. I assume
10?
that doesn't hit.
Which one were you going for? The
big spooky guy.
No, I'm afraid that misses it. Your blast just essentially embeds itself into the mossy growths along its arms and body, but it doesn't seem to have done any damage to it.
What the heck? All right. I will move over here.
Sure.
Let's do that. And I'll use my bonus action to reload in my turn.
Okay. Azares.
All right, I'm going to dispatch of these little idiots, hopefully, in front of me.
There you.
They're little idiots. Mindless robots. Battle axe, attack. That is a 17 to hit.
Okay, which one are you going for?
The northmost one.
The northmost one. Okay, yeah, that hits.
This man. Why can't I click? Never mind.
It's all right, I'm with you.
Okay, the top one. I'm gonna hit him for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Sorry, how much radiant damage was that as well?
That was only 3 radiant damage.
Okay. All right, yeah, that'll do it for this one. You swing back your battle axe and it glows with kind of this radiant light, and you just swing deep into its upper shoulder, and it's kind of parts apart, almost like wet paper, as you kind of strike into it, and it kind of crumbles and falls to the ground. However, I will say, as that happens, this green sickly light seems to come off the body and flows through the air towards the elven figure behind the column. And as he kind of breathes in deeply as this light kind of coalesces around his body.
Oh dear.
Oh shit. You buffed the
Yikes.
boss.
The what?
So you buffed the boss.
Oh shit.
Plus one
Okay.
tokens.
I don't think I can do anything else because I can't hit this other guy. I don't have any bonus actions that hit things. I need to fix that. So
In time. You'll
yes,
get another attack. Don't worry.
I will sit here grumpily, waiting for
Okay.
my next turn to hit this guy.
All right. First things first. The zombie guy next to you, as Ares is going to swing at you with his glaive. That's a nat 1 from him. Not good. Okay. The gear-headed creature. He'd probably go for you here, Razix, honestly. So he's going to swing back his claw and just try and swipe at you first. For 16.
Ooh, just hits, yeah.
Okay, you take. That's 14 points of bludgeoning damage as it just kind of
Ow.
swings its arm across your shoulder. And you can kind of feel your bones shift underneath the strength of what just hit you. And yeah, that's all it's going to do. And then the figure behind the pillar. Sorry, give me a moment. He has got a lot of stuff.
Oh, good.
Gosh.
Instant kill number 1, instant kill number 2.
It's gonna be a charisma save, and everyone under 18 is just now a thrall.
Hikaru, was it that he can't take reactions on his turn or on your turn?
The beast couldn't take reactions until his next turn, so he can take reactions again.
Damn.
Okay.
I had to go after him, didn't I?
As Ares, the figure behind the column raises its arm and it fires off another blast of this kind of dark black energy towards you. And that's a... Okay, so you will have +2 AC from the guy between you and it, but that's a 21 total, which I assume hits.
That'll hit.
Okay, so as it hits you, I need you to make a... Sorry, let me just double check what check it is, just to make sure. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. All right.
Should be good at these.
Oh, that's a natural 20.
Okay, a success. So, as this kind of blast of dark energy hits you, you feel almost your muscles begin to almost grow weary
Like
and tired.
spasm?
Yeah, it feels like you just are about to drop the axe in your hand almost, but you just kind of push through it. However, you do take 9 points of necrotic damage.
All right. That died down hot, right?
No, not to necrotic damage. As you do this, he yells out to you, "Leave my undead thralls alone!"
No.
And then he's going to just move back behind the pillar here.
Chicken. I'm getting you.
I can still see you.
Shut up, Justin. You're next. All right, Kevros, what would you like to do?
All right. I'm going to run between the monster and Razix.
Okay, so he can't take reactions. Yeah.
He can, yeah, that's absolutely fine.
Yeah. No, he can't, can he? Because what was it someone
No,
cast
he-
on him?
he
It was
can
until
now.
his
He can
turn.
now.
He
Oh, he
can.
can
And now,
Okay.
And then
But-
Right, so you aren't breaking.
I'm going to
now.
jump down. This is just like a small ledge, right?
Yeah, you can drop down easily.
yeah.
No infraction on movement, nothing like that.
I'll drop down and use the rest of my movement to run next to him.
Okay, so before, if you just want to, let me just grab you 1 second here, because I want to give you an opportunity to react to this. As you giving me the middle finger. All right, okay.
That's a good
As you-
reaction.
As
Yeah.
Just ducking. That's my defense.
+2 to AC.
okay. I've got the giggles now. All right. So as you step down, you feel the stone slabs underfoot almost shift, and you hear a deep clunk underneath them. And on the central column, the skeletal figures along them, two of the mouths of them, the jaws essentially split open, and a torrent of insects begin to pour out of the mouths of these creatures that form into pools of writhing insects that kind of take up the ground in front of you. And I'll add them.
Flamethrower!
I already used it.
So
You're gonna
but now
have to
you
step
still
on
have
them all one by one.
You still have the rest of your movement. I just want it so you can still keep moving whatever you'd like to do.
Well, fuck. Alright. I'm going to... I guess I can't run through that swarm either, right?
Well, you can do anything you want.
This has shown you, hasn't it?
Yeah.
That's what I fucking stuff.
Alright. In that case... Now, this is up to you, because it is only a single thing, but there's a lot of insects, right?
Yeah.
So...
They've essentially kind of grouped together in this one spot.
Alright. Because my green flame blade jumps to another creature. Would that be effective against a swarm? It's up to you, like... Because it's only one token, I guess, so...
Yeah, but then we're kind of getting into the semantics of the game, whereas flavor-wise, I would say...
I mean, it's a lot of creatures next to each other,
Yeah,
right?
I would say, yeah, if you want to... I would say probably even double the damage for it. I think that's kind of a good use of it.
Okay, in that case, I'll run towards the first swarm, I guess. I'll take an opportunity attack, though.
Okay, so...
Which has disadvantage against me, because I'm protected from good and evil.
Alright, okay. Okay, so with disadvantage, it's a 10 as it kind of tries to reach out and swipe towards you, but I assume 10 doesn't hit.
My double middle finger defense worked. And, okay, so my sword lights up in green fire. And I swing, so I make a single melee attack against a creature I can see. If it hits, the target suffers the normal effect, and green fire jumps from the enemy to another creature of your choice within 5 feet. You must be able to see the secondary target.
That's cool.
Alright, so... that is unbelievably a natural 20 again.
Alright, if you want to triple damage for this, then...
I don't believe you.
And then roll that back. That's a 6 and a 4, a 5 and a 4, that's what, 19? And then 2 more, that's another 6 and a 4, that is 29 points. And if you want the fire damage as well, that's my spellcasting mod. Which is 3.
29 points of what damage?
29 points of slashing and 3 points of fire damage.
Okay, sorry, one moment.
Turns out throwing green fire at stuff is good.
And then how much fire damage? Sorry,
it's just 3 points of fire damage.
Okay.
It's my spellcasting modifier, so it's always 3.
Okay. So you swing back your sword and just carve it straight through this kind of writhing swarm of insects, and it kind of ignites them, and you can hear kind of their bodies popping and exploding with kind of goo and fluids and someone's phone ringing. But the swarm is still there, but it is fairly diminished in numbers. There's still a number of creatures there writhing, I would say.
Alright.
But it is very diminished in size.
I'm gonna just look back up. Gosh, flamethrower. Now, mate, I take back what I said about it. Flamethrower right now.
Okay, Razix?
I am going to move here so I can see this square, since I wasn't able to do it before. I'm gonna cast Flaming Sphere, and I'm gonna summon a Flaming Sphere. Right,
it's been a while.
It has been a while.
Oh, you still use the token I made for you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
And as a bonus action, I'm going to slam it, or try to slam it, I guess, into this elven boy here.
Okay, attempt the slam.
If you ran, the creature must make a saving throw against the spear's damage.
Okay, what kind of saving throw is it?
It's a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, he rolls a 1 moment. He's pretty dexterous. 17 total.
He succeeds in the save. I'm not sure what happens now.
If it doesn't say anything on a success, then nothing. He doesn't take half damage.
Creature must take dexterity saving throw. Creature takes 2d6 fire damage on a failed save, or half as much on a success.
Okay. All right. Okay.
In that case, he takes 3 fire damage.
Okay.
Did I roll 2 20s in a row?
No problem.
Yeah.
So as your sphere kind of brushes against it, ignites some of his cloak, and the fungus ignites, and he yells out towards you, "Curse your infernal magics!" But that's it. Anything else, Razix?
The only thing else, I'm gonna do my reaction to invoke the spores on the big boy. So a Constitution saving throw from you.
All right. Okay, that's
I
a
don't
2.
really want to feel. I feel like I'm not. I feel like it's weird to do it on other people's turns.
It's all right. Yeah, it's fine if we just do it now, just to save time. So yeah, sorry, a 6 total actually, not a 2.
Aha! He takes a point of necrotic damage.
I'm not even going to describe that.
Sure.
Vikaru.
Well, of course, first things first. I'm gonna go ahead and just send between our threats. And I'm going to
Gosh.
attack with it.
Okay, go ahead. Surrounded by orbs, Yormen does not know what to do.
That was a 12.
A 12. That does not hit.
So I hear a familiar voice, kind of give a chuckle, a very rude chuckle, and she essentially says, "Seems you're getting rusty." And go ahead and roll these real quick, and I add the 6 to that. So math is hard. It's 18.
So does that change your roll to an 18?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
Cool. And then this thing takes 1d8. Oop. Yeah, he takes 6. And then, of course, since
Make fun of him. I'm confused what just happened.
Same.
It's a divine cleric thing, I believe, is what that was.
yeah,
Did you just have a ghost like following you around? chewing in your ear?
it's not a ghost.
The gods
I
laughed
don't
at me.
like her.
It may be
Okay.
revealed in time.
Holy Spirit.
I shall also,
Huh?
I shall also cast Toll the Dead. He hears several gold coins dropping around him, and the sound just becomes so incredibly annoying. But he must make a wisdom save.
Okay, that's a 7 total. And he has
Okay,
taken
yeah.
damage, so you
Yeah.
get 12.
Got an 8, so he takes 8 more damage.
Okay, nice. All right, so as your sphere catches him from one side, and then he kind of clutches his ears and yells out. But yeah, that ends his turn. Or your turn, sorry. If that's you done, Justin. Do you want to move at all, or?
Yeah, no, I think I'm fine where I am.
Okay. All right. Talora is going to. I think she's going to cast another freezing ray on the large deer skull creature in front of her. So if you just give me a moment here. Okay, that's hits. That hits. All 3 hit. Nice work. See that, Loren? You can do it.
Just need to let someone else control you.
Okay. So she hits for 24 points of cold damage as she essentially raises her arm, and again this ball of blue light coalesces in her hand, and she fires off 3 blasts, and they all connect with the skull of the creature as it kind of takes 1, 2, and then on the 3rd blast its entire skull shatters and these large antlers go pinging off into the sides of the room. And let me just check one thing else.
Glorious.
Okay, so as the creature kind of collapses and falls apart, the elven figure behind the column, again, this kind of green light seeps from the body of the creature that fell apart, and you can see again Yormen. Yormen.
That guy. You said his name a few times. Don't worry.
All right. Who else is it going to be? It's not Father Christmas, is it?
It's
as the
not?
green light kind of infuses along his arm, and he kind of takes another deep, hearty breath. So yeah, and Tora is now going to. She would move, let's say, into here, and then duck into that room there, and then that ends her turn. So, Kosh, what would you like to do?
Okay. So I have a couple of questions. One, what this thing that like collapsed, is it like area I can move into, or is there still just a bunch of like bugs and creepy crawlies?
It's still a large form of mossy, fungusy stuff. It would be difficult terrain to cross, I would say.
Okay. My second question is, I bought a lot of oil flasks when we were at that shop. Can I use one? And can I both is it doable for me to set something on fire with this oil flask in the same turn that I would throw the oil flask?
No, because I would say the oil flask is probably in a metallic container that's not going to shatter you. I would essentially shake it out, if you imagine. You couldn't just throw it and it shatters and covers a patch of ground in oil and then somehow ignite it. I would say you'd have to spend a turn covering an area in oil, and even then it would probably only cover a 5-foot square.
Okay. Disappointment. Can't set things on fire. Alright. In that case, let me double check movement. Yeah, I can do that. Okay, I will run up here.
Okay.
And I will attack the thing of bugs in front of Kevros that he already hit earlier.
Okay, go ahead.
With a... that is a 13.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, for 9 points of piercing damage.
Okay, so you fire off a shot and it just kind of blasts into the center of these creatures as they kind of coalesce together, and just more of them are just kind of blown apart, and essentially the few that remain scurry off into the corners of the room, and the swarm is gone.
Nice. I'll go ahead and reload my gauntlet with my bonus action in my turn.
Okay, Azares.
Right. I would like to finish off this other little idiot here, I guess. So I'm gonna hit him. It's my axe. Oh, good. That's great. That's 6. No, sorry, that's an 8.
That hits.
Really?
Hey!
Shit. Holy shit. Okay.
These guys
The
just
greatest
stand,
AC of all time.
they just stand very robotically. They don't make any moves to defend
All
themselves.
right.
Not armored at all.
I hit them for 5, 6, 7 plus 11.
Okay, so that's plus 3 radiant damage.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, you...
Well, 4 radiant damage. Yeah.
4 radiant, okay. So you swing back your axe and just swing it right through the neck of this creature, or the zombie rather, and it just parts from the body and he collapses onto the ground. But again, as his form... Actually, no, it doesn't happen. No, never mind.
Doesn't happen?
No.
Oh.
Is that in your... What would you like to do?
No, I want to move. I would
Okay.
like to move down here to where the bugs are. Is that fine?
Okay, yeah, that's perfect.
Cool. I am good.
All right. So the first thing first, the bug swarm next to you, Azares, is going to essentially try and run up your legs and start biting into your flesh.
Oh,
That is unpleasant.
that's horrifying.
Okay.
It's unpleasant.
Give me the giant guy back. I'll deal with him.
More bugs. Okay, that's 16.
Wait, my AC is 16. Did I hit?
That hits.
They hit. Yes.
It's like that scene in the last Indiana Jones where they flip the jeep and all the ants start
Oh
crawling
god,
up
yeah.
the guys.
Oof, yeah.
Or the mummy where the scarabs all come out.
Yeah, exactly.
please.
I'm sorry, Azares, you're just a lost cause at this point.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty dead now.
Azares, as they begin to run up your legs, they find gaps in your armor and begin to pinch at you and tear at your flesh. You can feel them writhing all across you, and it's just a horrible feeling. And you take 12 points of piercing damage.
You little bastards.
Obviously halved because you are
Yeah.
raging.
All right, I'm real pissed off now.
Okay.
Getting pinched.
And then Yormen is going to suddenly look around, and he makes a quick dash into this back room here. And you all lose sight of him, but you can hear him muttering some sort of incantation. And the room that he's in glows with this ethereal green light, and you can hear the cracking and breaking of the sarcophaguses in the room alongside him. And yeah, I would say, Azares, Kosh, and Kevros, you guys can all see as the lids pop off the coffins, more of these zombie creatures begin to come out of it, and they essentially form ranks, it looks like, behind him.
Oh, God.
Yay!
Punished.
Fun.
My turn, mate.
And as he's doing, you can hear him saying, "Rise, rise, my undead minions, the interlopers." But that ends his turn. So here we go. Kevros.
Right. I'm just gonna wait, let me just check I do have the movement to do it. Yep, fine. I'm gonna barrel in that room after him.
Okay, barrel away.
And whole hog barreling. I'm just gonna yell at him. Then leave the dead alone. I'm gonna swing my green flame blade at him.
Okay.
Which, please hit. Oh, it does. My attacks are on point today. That's a 21 overall to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
Okay, so he takes the regular damage, and green fire leaps to the one next to him and deals 3 points of fire damage to them, I believe.
Okay, so yeah, you just watch this kind of, as you swing, green fire arcs along your blade and sprays off towards the zombie alongside him, and it just catches a portion of his clothing on fire. And then for the damage on Yormen?
Damage on Yormen is, let me reroll that, it's a 1. 13 points of slashing damage.
Okay, so yeah, you just kind of swing and just cut a deep gouge along his shoulder and arm, and he kind of yells out and just looks like he's ready to swing back at you.
Bring it on, mate.
All right, anything else?
No, I'll end my turn there.
Okay, Razix.
I would like to move to here.
Sure.
Is it all possible? And can I see Yormen?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's no problem. You can see him.
And also, from where I'm standing, can I see that there's another entrance to that room? Like the way he went in?
Yes. Yeah, yes.
I would like to, as my bonus action, move my sphere to here, if possible.
Okay.
And just bash it into him with my bonus action.
Okay, so that's a dex save from him, is it?
Yeah, it's a easy
Okay.
dex save to save. So
All right, it's a 13 from him.
he saves, so he takes, what is half of 9? 4.
Okay, so
Okay.
as this kind of, he looks over his shoulder and kind of almost glares at the burning sphere above him before he kind of shakes off the fire that begins to kind of patch along his arms.
And so that's a bonus action movement. I'm going to, if I can see him, I'm going to cast Chill Touch on him if possible.
Yeah, you can see him. The thing about chill touch is you always think it's a touch or like
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah, it's actually got one of the highest ranges of any spell I have.
How odd. Okay, all right, go ahead.
Yeah, so let's see here. I'm going to attack him. I rolled a 16.
Yeah, that hits.
Perfect. And D8. Oh, only 2 damage, and he can't regain hit points until the start of his next turn.
Okay.
Or sorry, start of my next turn.
Okay, lovely stuff. All right.
If you
so-
hit an undead target, he has disadvantage on attack rolls against me.
Okay, Yormen is not undead, I will
Okay. Well,
despite his ghostly pallor. All right, sure. Okay, so yeah, we watched this kind of ghostly hand just kind of essentially come out of the wall and grasp onto Yormen, and it kind of appeals a little bit at his flesh, but apart from that, he seems to be mostly unaffected. Anything else?
no, that is everything I can do. I do have the purple dot of concentration.
Okay, all right.
Oh,
Vicari.
I should also have that. I'll give myself that.
Oh yeah.
So this is a full wall, right?
Which
Or
parts?
are they half walls?
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a full wall that goes up to the ceiling. You can't see through it, unfortunately.
Okay. So I will move to here-ish. Yeah, I'll move to there-ish. And I will move my spiritual weapon to about there.
Okay.
Is it able to like squeeze and hit him?
I would say it's probably difficult, especially because you can't see Yormen himself to line up an attack on him, especially in such a small space. So I would say at this point it's probably not feasible for you to be able to attack with your sphere or weapon thing, whatever it's called, wherever he is.
The floaty disc.
Is reasonable. I assume bugs aren't very wisdomous, so I'll cast Toll the Dead on them.
All right.
It is.
Wisdomous.
It'd
Yeah, there's
be
a
more,
word for that.
it'd be more
guys.
damaging to just throw the coins at them.
But it's the
Okay.
sound of coins squashing bugs.
Okay, they roll a 4 on their
They-
wisdom
They
save.
fail.
Okay, they have not taken damage, so it's just a D8.
Yeah, okay. It's a 7.
Yeah, 7. Okay. So yeah, some of the bugs just have to curl up and just dry out and fall off you as areas as they're kind of running all over your skin. Anything else, Vicari?
Nope, that's it.
All right.
Just a quick question.
Sure.
Does your spiritual weapon have health?
No, it's
Okay,
just
because
a
anything that
fake.
ends its turn within the flaming sphere takes damage. I was just wanting to
Luckily,
make sure.
it doesn't take
Okay.
Okay. Talora's kind of snookered here. What would she do?
Snookered.
Yeah. Okay, she's going to move over there behind and try and fire off ray of frost at the undead creature in front of you, Razix, but it will get a bonus to its AC. But she nat ones it. Nice job, Lorraine. All right. I am not even kidding. I cannot. It's just her luck, I guess. All right. Gosh.
So, what do these like orbs look like? Do they take up my entire realm of vision if I were to come over like here, for example, or like here?
No,
try
I mean,
to get a line?
you could, yeah. The spiritual weapon is kind of ethereal in nature. You can pass through it and see through it in some way. So if you can you move there with all your movement? I'm not sure.
If I can, what I'll do is I'll use I'll activate it basically for this turn and use my full 60 feet to get there.
Yeah, I would say that's reasonable. So I think you would pass the bugs if you did that.
As long as I have Zephyr, I won't take any opportunity.
That's great. Okay, lovely. All right, so yeah, you can see Yormen from there. At least you can see.
Okay.
Back.
Okay, I'll go ahead and shoot at Yormen. This attack does have advantage. Please God. Okay, that's a 15.
Yep, that hits.
Okay, so he takes 6. So he takes 11 points of piercing damage, but then he also takes 3 points of force damage from the Zephyr Strike.
Okay, lovely. All right, so yeah, you just raise your gauntlet, take a moment to line up and fire off a blast, and it just kind of smashes into his upper shoulder, and you can see this kind of dark blood spray out, and some of it kind of covers on you, Kevros, and he kind of stumbles forward a little bit. But yeah, anything else, Kosh?
Go ahead and reload as usual, and end the turn.
Okay, Azares.
Are these bugs still alive next to me, or did they?
No, they're still alive.
God damn. Okay, they're dying now. Everyone else is fighting the big dude. I'm just sitting here squishing chojos. You won't know what that means because that's an Afrikaans word. Right. Right. 17 plus. That's a 23 to hit.
Okay, yeah, that hits.
I should hope so. Right. Give me that. All right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then the radiant is 8. 16. For the bugs.
Okay, so it's 4. Sorry, how much slashing? 8 slashing and
8 slashing, 8 radiant.
Okay, so you swing your axe as it kind of glows with this radiant light. It seems to encapsulate and capture more of them in the swing, but essentially you are still swinging at a swarm of bugs. It is hard to deal with them essentially, but you do manage to bring their numbers down to quite a low number.
Okay. Could someone please help me kill these damn things? I shout out in frustration as I'm just stomping on them.
We're a little busy.
Okay. So anything else?
No, I'm just swinging away at bugs.
Okay. All right. So the bugs are going to swing back with their warhammers. That's a 23 from the bugs. Killing
Bloody
it.
hell, yeah, they'll hit.
Okay, so there are less of them, so you won't take as much damage as they're still writhing over your flesh and covering you, but you take 6 points of piercing damage, which you then have 3.
Fine.
And then let's see. First of all, just can you remind me, Razix, can I pass through Flaming Sphere?
It is a 5-foot diameter sphere of fire, and
I'm not 100% sure, so I just need to be reminded.
I imagine you just take the damage as if it hit you.
It's a 5-foot diameter.
So if it's a 5-foot diameter sphere, I guess you really run through it.
Okay. All right. So well, Yormen, first of all, he is going to to you, Kevros, he pulls back his free hand and tries to clamp it down onto your shoulder. And that's an 18.
I will burn my last spell slot and throw up a shield around myself.
Okay, so as he tries to grasp onto you, the shield just kind of appears in front of him. His hand just bangs off it, and he kind of looks at you with certain malice, I would say.
Oh no! Good thing malice doesn't deal damage.
Well, actually,
oh shit!
Ross gets a nice dab at the end.
He looked at you with malice, with the eye of Vecna.
Oh no! You just insta-killed yourself with dab.
Okay, so all right. So first of all, this zombie here, he's going to move towards you, Razix, and swing at you with his glaive for a 5. That's a miss.
That misses.
The second one here is going to move along and try and hit you, Kevros, with his glaive.
Right.
That's a natural 20. Love it.
He has disadvantage because he's undead.
All right, you son of a bitch. I'm bringing it down to 13.
That does not hit.
Oh, God's sake. This other one's going to come along here and try and swing at you with disadvantage. Okay, so that's
I feel so protected right now.
18 and a natural 20. How about that?
That'd be an 18. That hits, yeah. Oh no,
Okay.
wait, no. Until my next turn, I've got shield up. It doesn't hit.
Son of a bitch. All right, so the
I've got
final.
22.
Are you
undead-
sure you're not blue?
I've got 22 AC
Nope.
until my next turn.
Nope.
There's no chance it hits. Okay, that's a 15, and the 7 is the
The
fourth
god
final
tank is here.
Just none of them can land a blow on Kevros, and all right, yeah.
I'd
Kevros.
like to imagine I'm just sitting behind my shield, just growling at all the glaives bouncing off.
All right, so it's now.
Alright, my
It's
AC now goes back to normal.
Okay.
However, I am surrounded by a lot of boys. Craig, which is the one that I set on fire? Because I imagine I'd be able to see from the
Yeah,
fire
he's still
damage,
got a very noticeable burn mark. It's the one just below you.
Okay.
I can't really mark it.
In that case, I'm going to swing... I'm going to pivot and swing at the one in front of Razix.
Okay.
Please hit. Oh, Christ. That's a 9 overall to hit.
Hits.
Alright. Oh yeah, these guys have amazing AC, don't they? That
In the
is... Okay, I reroll that because that's a 2. That is 12 points of slashing damage to the one in front of Razix. And I'm
Okay.
going to shoot off my green flame at the one I've already burnt for another 3 points of fire damage.
Okay, so first of all, as you swing towards the one across from Razix, you just cleave straight through its neck and separate the vertebrae, and it just falls down onto the ground. And then again, this fire leaps off and ignites the kind of dried out flesh of it, and it kind of coalesces along it. But it is still standing, but now the flesh from its face... Whoops, not dead. Whoops. The flesh from its face is kind of burned away, and you can just see this kind of almost grinning skull beneath looking towards you. Yeah,
hell.
anything else?
No, I'm gonna end my turn in the middle of the enemies.
All right, lovely. Just what I like to see. All right, Razix.
I forgot to mention my flaming sphere would have done damage to them once they ended their turn.
All right, okay.
To both Yormen, or unnamed Elfman, and the closest to the sphere.
Okay. Do they need to make a save, or you just roll damage?
Both have to roll a dexterity save.
Okay.
Against the
Yormen, first of all, rolls a non-natural 20. The zombie beneath him rolls an 11.
Fortunately, they both save because it's against the damage, not the DC.
Okay.
So they both take 4 fire damage.
Okay.
So for my turn, I'm going to run in here. Can I stand?
Yeah, I mean, it's I think you can stand on where the body was. That's no problem. If
Okay.
you want to move there.
I'm going to run in. I'm going to attack the guy in front of me, directly south of me,
Okay.
with a shillelagh imbued weapon here. Rolled a 17.
Okay, roll damage.
Yep. And I don't get that. Max damage. 8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay, one moment. Okay, yeah, that as you kind of swing back your mace, it just kind of smashes into the head of this creature, and it's just entire skull caves in and it crumbles to the ground. However, now when it dies, more of this kind of green energy and light begins to seep out of the body, and Yormen almost catches it in his hand as he kind of again inhales deeply. For
This
whatever
guy needs
that
to stop vaping zombies.
He is zombie vapor. All right.
And, so for my bonus action, I'm going to slam my flaming spear into the monster, or into Yormen.
Okay, so dex
So
save from me.
another dex save from you.
All right, that's a 22 for Yormen.
And he takes 5 damage.
Okay.
That's halved from 10. And I'm going to use my reaction to do spore damage to him as well.
Okay,
that's
so-
a Constitution save.
All right. That's a 17.
And he saves. So that is the end of my turn.
All right. Whew, a lot of stuff. All right.
Yeah, sorry.
Vicario. That's no problem.
All right, I shall. Forgot there was a Z direction, or I guess technically a Y direction from our perspective. Anyway, I'm gonna have my spiritual weapon fly 5 feet up, and then 5 feet over, and then 5 feet over, and then 5 feet down.
So where do
Up
you
and
want it
around
to?
my
It
sphere.
will land here.
Okay. Yeah, no problem. That's fine.
Then I'm going to smack the smug elf in the face.
Okay, go ahead.
19.
Yeah, that hits.
All right, and it's D8. I have to change this to that. I got. Oh, it's plus spell mod, so that's 8 damage total.
Okay.
And then I shall, I guess, continue assisting Aseris with these stupid bugs.
Okay,
Let's-
sure.
Thank
And
you.
once again, cast Toll the Dead on them.
All
Yes.
right, come on, bugs. You got this. That's 23 for the bugs.
Wow.
All
Sorry,
right,
not
yeah.
23, 17. I added it the wrong way. Sorry. 17.
That's
They start
Still
like telling
passes.
parables and stuff.
Okay. All right. Anything else?
Nope, I think I'm fine where I am.
Okay. All right. So Talora, she looks at you, Vicaria, and says, "Let me." And she kind of passes by you, and tries to fire off a freezing ray at the collection of bugs. And okay, she hits.
Yay!
Surprising.
Thank you. And they take 5 points of cold damage, but it is enough. She just kind of fires off a blast, and it just kind of centers in the swarm and just blows them apart. And they are gone. So
And there's me like dancing around, getting all the crap out of my arm, like shake, shake, shake. I'm like,
and then Flora's going to use the rest of her movement to kind of drop down to there, and she'll end her turn. So, Kosh, what would you like to do?
To my understanding, my line of sight on Yormen hasn't changed. So
Nope, you can still see him.
Okay. I'll just go ahead, take another shot at him.
Okay, go ahead.
That's a 25. I'm gonna
That hits.
assume that hits. 2, 5. Only 7 points of piercing damage.
Okay. So you fire off a blast, and again, just catches him in the upper shoulder, and he kind of stumbles forward a bit. Anything else?
And keeping it exciting, I reload with my bonus action and end my turn.
All right, nice work. Love it. Ares.
I would like to. Now the bugs are dead. There's no way I can get into this room, can I? Or can I like get to the door and stab him from the
I would
side?
say if you stood in this doorway here, you could hit him. However, I believe you would still take damage from the flaming sphere. Is that correct, Razix?
Yeah, it doesn't care who's around it.
But that I have to end my turn by it, right?
Yes,
Yes.
So if I move there and then hit him and then move away, that's fine.
you could do that.
I'm going to do that. Right. I
Okay.
would like to reckless attack.
Okay.
Well, yeah, let's reckless attack one.
All right.
So I get to roll twice. Yeah. Rawr. That's a 13. No, sorry. I lie. I rolled a 13, so that's a 19 plus a 20.
Okay, both hit, so he is knocked prone.
Oh,
You
prone.
want to roll damage.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. 9, 10, 11 for that one. 18.
So 11 slashing and how much radiant? Sorry.
7. Yeah, 7 radiant.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, you just swing back your battle axe and just smash it into Yormen's back, and it just kind of glows with this radiant light, and he's kind of knocked down onto his knees essentially by the blow. Anything else?
Moving away from the fireball of death.
Okay.
There. Cool.
So Yormen is going to immediately stand up on his turn, and then Kevros, he is going to. His eyes just suddenly glow even more with this kind of sickly green light. As again, he's going to try and, with his free hand, reach onto your shoulder.
All right.
Okay, that's a 19.
That does hit me, yes.
Okay.
I haven't actually taken damage so far in this fight.
Oh, finally.
Good
Finally.
You
Okay.
must be a blue player.
As his arms grasp onto you, feel this kind of sick chill come over your body, not unlike the damage from the shadow apparition you took last session.
Oh,
I
Christ.
need you to make a Constitution saving throw for me.
Okie dokie. I'm pretty good at those. I'm apparently quite mediocre at those. That's a 15.
Okay. So that's a success, actually.
Okay.
So first of all, you take, as his arm kind of grabs onto you, you feel the sickly cold flow through you, and you take 12 points of necrotic damage.
Right.
And then also kind of coursing through his arm as it's grabbed onto you, you feel this almost acidic burn from his grasp, and you take... Ooh. Okay, 10 points of poison damage.
All right. Sorry, the first one was 12, right?
Yeah, 12 points of necro damage, and then 10 points of poison
Okey-dokey.
damage.
Cool.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget about concentration.
Oh, yeah, I
you
need
need
to
to
roll
make
my
a
concentration. All right.
Oh yeah, that's
So
true.
it's
We
just
always
Time for
forget
that
about
guy.
that.
I rolled a 12, so I'll keep it.
Okay. All right. So the zombies are also going to swing at you, Kevros. So the one below you. Okay, that's a 12.
Disadvantage,
then-
remember?
Oh yeah. So a 12 and natural 1. Wow, great. Well done.
It missed me twice, just let you know.
The second one is an 8. And then a natural 20, but it misses because of disadvantage. Nice work. Well done, Kevros. Okay, Kevros.
Do you know what? Fun
Salt.
backstory. When I picked this spell, Craig was like, what are you going to do with that? I don't really know what it does.
And now he's just like, I'm gonna kill
And I was like,
you.
as soon as you summon evil things, I'm going to cast it.
It is paid for itself and that.
Yeah, I never need to use it again after this. It's done its work. Jeez.
Okay. What would you like to do, Kevros?
I would like to take a swing at our creepy elven friend, Yormen.
Okay.
And that is going to be, a 22 overall to hit.
That hits. Roll damage.
Right, and this is Green Flame Blade, targeting the
Okay.
one below him that I've already burnt.
Okay.
That is, reroll the 2. That is 9, 13 points of slashing damage, and 3 points to the zombie of fire damage.
Okay. So you pull back your great sword and go for a massive two-handed swing, and as you do, Yormen looks you in the face, says, "You will never learn the secrets of this." And as you swing, you just part straight through his neck and decapitate him cleanly and his head just goes flying off, and his body kind of stumbles and blood begins.
As soon
to
as
pour
his
out of
head
the neck.
starts flying off, I'm gonna, as the blood is missing me, go, "Alright, nice secrets, mate." As the head lops
Okay.
off.
And as that happens, the flame does move on to the zombie standing near him. But as you look at them, with Yormen dead, he's not dying. He is dead. He's been fucking decapitated. The zombies just essentially just begin to crumble, and their faces just lose any sense of movement and unlife, and they just fall down dead. So,
Yay.
Alright.
yeah. Whew, how about that?
Oh,
Um,
sit down,
alright,
you
so-
Yormen, you knob. He did a lot
Alright.
of damage to me in that turn. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, he is quite scary if he gets
Yes,
into
he
the
is.
spot.
He did quite a bit.
We still don't actually know this guy's name, right?
Yormen. Oh, well, we know who it is.
I think you guys, with your own kind of intuition, would realize.
I'm not even the one here for him, and I know who it is.
But yeah, I guess it's a good place to end it before we kind of investigate more into Yormen and what you might have had on him.
I'll add
So, yeah.
last detail of I will take out some a
Yeah, sorry,
beast hide cloak.
Any immediate things?
Yes, I would like to take out a beast hide cloak from my bag, wrap his head up in it, and put it in my bag.
That's not creepy at all.
Okay, Vicario, sorry, what would you like to do?
Well, it's not something Vicari wants to do. I just want to mention to everyone in the chat, the other movie I was talking about was
Oh,
Black
God.
Mountain Side. It's a good film. It's a good film, okay?
How long have you been sitting there going,
This is like vintage Justin. Just the whole fight, he was just like, I
Yeah,
can't
that was
wait.
at the start of the fight we started. Alright, okay. Alright, well, there you go, everyone. I'm sure you will you're doing that. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Just a final reminder, don't forget to jump onto our subreddit afterwards. So that's r/Guildgates, where there'll be an episode discussion thread where you can kind of share your thoughts on anything like that and discuss the episode and the party and the villains and all that kind of stuff. And don't forget to check out our Patreon as well. So that's patreon.com/Guildgates and Goblins. And don't forget to check out Justin's stuff on Twitch. Connor, can you remember what the Twitch ID for
Oh
that
yes.
was?
Wait, do you mean Tyler's stuff?
Sorry, Tyler.
You called him
yes.
Justin last time we talked as well.
Come on, Craig.
Tyler Walpole Art. It's
Alright.
twitch.tv/Tyler Walpole Art.
Okay. All right.
But we'll
so,
have more about that next week.
Yeah, so make sure to check all that stuff out. And yeah, Connor, if you'd like to roll that outro. I'm
Oh,
seeing it.
yes.
Got me
Oh.
an intro too.
Yes.